is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Morning, the final push, as we are just hours now away from the by-election in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, the final day of campaigning, as the Prime Minister promises a more prosperous Bimini. The F&M slams government in its closing pitch to voters, and the PLP chairman tells F&M leader Michael Pintard to take their vote-buying claim to the police or retract. It's all straight ahead this morning as we're coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama on this special edition of Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. This is a special edition of Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, it's day two of us broadcasting live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama in the constituency of West Grand Bahama and Bimini. And tomorrow is the by-election and the final campaigning going on today across the constituency on these two islands. We'll be getting the final words in from candidates. We've got two more that we are expecting, but folks, I got to tell you, it's not looking entirely good. We're not sure if the PLP candidate, Kingsley Smith Jr., and the F&M candidate, Bishop Grant, are going to be joining us this morning. Very up in the air, which is very unusual, very weird, especially since we had the three other candidates yesterday, but we will see. We will see. No firm confirmation on whether they will join us. In fact, one of the parties telling us something very unusual. We will get to that a little bit later. But we will see what this morning holds for us here. We are again coming to you live from the Obadiah Wolshcombe Complex in 8 Mile Rock. New Providence gave the all clear for us to be here today, so that's wonderful. But this special broadcast brought to you because of our special sponsors, Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort in West End, and KSR Rent-A-Car. And again, we have a lot to talk about. Laverne Gardner is going to be joining us once again in just a moment. But let's begin with what else is happening in the news. Police have arrested and charged the parents of a 2-year-old boy who died after he wandered away from his home in Fox Hill last week. 40-year-old Douglas Nixon and 31-year-old Jenny Nixon pleaded not guilty to a charge of cruelty to children at their arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Karen Vogt Evans. The couple reported Daniel Nixon missing on November 14th. He was found dead near their home on Bryce Street with injuries to his head and neck a short time later. The prosecution requested an adjournment to Wednesday to peruse the file to determine if bail will be opposed. The Nixons will be remanded to the Department of Corrections until then. PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell challenging FNM leader Michael Pintard to take his, quote, unfounded claims of vote buying to the police or publicly withdraw them. At a rally in Bimini over the weekend ahead of Wednesday's by-election, Pintard alleged that representatives of the PLP had $1,000 hidden in T-shirts which were handed out during the opening of a government facility recently. In statement, Mitchell saying the Progressive Liberal Party is built on a foundation of respect for the democratic process and the people of the Bahamas. He said the most recent claims made by Pintard against the party are not only completely false, but they show a disregard for democratic principles. Mitchell said that Pintard's allegations about the PLP attempting to buy votes were serious and, quote, if he truly believes his own words, we challenge him to take these claims to the police. This is how serious accusations should be handled, through proper legal channels, not through media stunts. Mitchell said the FNM has no credibility on the issue, citing comments from FNM chairman Dwayne Sands, who told the Nassau Guardian on Sunday that the opposition party had no categorical proof of vote buying, but was sure the illegal practice was happening. Prime Minister Philip Davis and PLP candidate for West Grand Bahama Bimini, Kingsley Smith, taking a replicated message to the people of Bimini, pledging, as they did 2 nights earlier in Grand Bahama, that if Smith and the PLP do not deliver on the list of promises they're making, that he would not seek another opportunity to represent the area at the general election in 3 years. Prime Minister Davis saying that they're going to invest millions in home and roof repairs using local contractors so the money stays in the community. And, quote, only one candidate respects you enough to make a commitment to you. If he can't deliver those urgent home repairs, he's not going to come back in 3 years to ask for your support again. Repeating that he doesn't make promises he can't keep, Smith again highlighted what he called his 3-year deal. He again promised new job creation, a Royal Bahamas Defense Force base in West End, a new West End police station, a new school, a new Bimini airport, a new resort in Boodle Bay, new docks for fishermen, a new fish house in West End, the West End Village Project, the West Grand Bahama Affordable Housing Project, and free Wi-Fi in all parks in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Meanwhile, at its final rally for the by-election, the FNM last night continued to appeal to voters in West Grand Bahama and Bimini to reject the PLP, with former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram once again mounting the rally stage to highlight what the FNM insists has been the PLP's neglect of the constituency. Throughout the campaign, the PLP adopted the One Love theme, which was a personal mantra of Obie Wilshcombe, who died in September. At a rally in West Grand Bahama last night, Ingram suggested the PLP was merely using Wilshcombe's name to win votes in the by-election. He said the same people who talking to you now about Obie were the ones who kept him down and neglected you. Overseas, Israeli troops battling Palestinian militants in an urban refugee camp and outside a nearby hospital today as the army expanded operations across northern Gaza, where residents have been without electricity or reliable access to water, food, or other basics for weeks. The front line of the war, now in its 7th week, shifted to the refugee camp, a dense warren of concrete buildings near Gaza City that houses families displaced in the 1948 war surrounding Israel's creation. Israel has bombarded the area for weeks, and the military said Hamas fighters have regrouped there and other eastern districts after being pushed out of much of Gaza City. Fighting has also intensified outside the nearby Indonesian hospital, where Palestinian health officials said a strike killed 12 people Monday. They said Tuesday that hundreds of patients and displaced people are trapped inside with dwindling supplies after some 200 were evacuated the day before. And Russian President Vladimir Putin, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and other leaders from the BRICS bloc of developing countries will hold a virtual meeting on the Israel-Hamas war today, with United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres also participating. The leaders of fellow BRIC members, Brazil, India, and South Africa, as well as Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates, which are set to join the bloc in January, will also take part. The meeting comes a day after China's top diplomat hosted the foreign ministers of Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, the Palestinian Authority, and Indonesia in Beijing, their first stop on a tour of UN Security Council permanent members. The meeting underlined China's long-standing support for the Palestinians and its growing geopolitical influence. In sports, Bahamian Yolette coach Yo McEwen, the women's basketball head coach of the University of Mississippi, determined to leave the country with a championship, and her team made sure of that as they easily took care of the Michigan Wolverines in the championship game of the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis women's basketball tournament. That tournament wrapping up inside the Imperial Arena at the Atlantis Resort Monday, with Ole Miss and the Rebels winning 60-49 over the Wolverines. For McEwen, it was her second title as women's basketball head coach at Ole Miss. You can read all about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And the Bahamas the senior men's soccer team experienced a mental disorder recently as their match against Guyana was postponed twice over the weekend due to adverse weather and tragedy in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Head coach of the Bahamas, Neslie Jean, said that they will now turn their attention to securing maximum points against Puerto Rico on Tuesday. That game in the CONCACAF Nations League B Group D division will be played in Puerto Rico starting at 8 p.m. Jean also supported the decision to postpone the Guyana match that was set to be played in Santo Domingo. He said that gave them a chance to refocus. Puerto Rico is coming off a tough 3-2 victory over Antigua and Barbuda. The Bahamas is well rested, having not played on the weekend, but Jean said he does not see it as an advantage as Puerto Rico is playing at home. It's been a long 5 months for the players, having played in 4 matches and going through training. The Bahamas is a little banged up, but having a physiotherapist with the team will help. To find out more about what happened in Santo Domingo, pick up today's Guardian Sports section. And from Monday Night Football action in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles insisting that the Super Bowl rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs had nothing to do with revenge. They got a little bit of it anyway after allowing the Chiefs to methodically build a 10-point halftime lead Monday night. The Eagles shut out Patrick Mahomes and company over the final 30 minutes. Jalen Hurts became a poor start in a cold driving rain to run for a pair of touchdowns, and his go-ahead push in the fourth quarter allowed the Eagles to walk away with a 21-17 victory. The Eagles now are 9-1. They became the first team to win at least 9 of their first 10 games in consecutive seasons since the Colts in 2005-2006, and they did it by beating former coach Andy Reid for the first time in 5 tries since he landed in Kansas City. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. First look at weather for today. We've got high pressure across the area that's going to continue to support moderate to fresh breezes and pleasant conditions for the next few days. Boaters and beachgoers should continue to exercise caution due to the presence of swells, rough surf, and hazardous rip currents. For all areas today, forecast calls for sunny and breezy conditions with a chance of isolated passing showers, becoming fair and breezy tonight. Smallcraft advisory in effect due to swells. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots in the northwest and central Bahamas, and 15 to 25 knots in the southeastern Bahamas. Seas 4 to 6 feet near shore in the northwest and central Bahamas, and 5 to 8 feet in the southeastern islands. Seas up to 9 feet for all areas in moderate to large northeast to easterly swells. Temperature-wise today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. Currently in Nassau, it's about 75 degrees. Here in 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama, it is 69 degrees under fair skies. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. You are listening to Morning Blend. We're coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. We're going to take a break and then be back with a whole lot more here on this Tuesday morning on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
What the?
Ooh, sorry,
It's
babe.
4 a.m. What you doing?
The CVS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas, Southwest Plaza location only.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Win a vacation for 2 to Sandals Resort in Jamaica using your RBC Visa credit card in the RBC Gift Yourself the Ultimate Getaway promotion. Just spend $1,500 or local equivalent. Promotion ends on December 18, 2023. Visit rbcultimategetaway.com for more details.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. the start of the new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, we are coming to you live once again from Grand Bahama. We are in 8 Mile Rock as the nation gets ready for the big by-election tomorrow, West Grand Bahama and Bimini. And it's the final day of the campaigning that's going to be going on. And we're here for it. We've been talking to the candidates. We've been talking to the people on the ground. And we hope to hear from you all on your views this morning. And we hope to have the final two candidates. It's not looking too good based on the last things we heard. But we will see. We'll see. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But this special broadcast being brought to you by Western Air and Old Bahama Bay Resort in West End and KSR Rent-A-Car. We're still live, streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us, Facebook us, and text us 422-4796. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, if I didn't say that. Laverne Gardner is going to be joining us in just a moment. So let's get into it. Let's get into what we're talking about, what we're here for. The by-election is a lot to get to. Let's begin right now with In the News. The big headlines in the papers, headlines in the Nassau Guardian. A final push. The Prime Minister promises more prosperous Bimini. The F&M slams the government in its closing pitch to voters. And the PLP calling on F&M leader Michael Pintard to go to the police with the claims that the PLP is trying to buy the election. I'm going to read their statement that they issued yesterday. You heard, if you're listening yesterday, Latreille Ramming, the Director of Communications with the Office of the Prime Minister, calling in to this show yesterday to refute those claims and challenging Pintard and the F&M to go to the police if they do have that information. And we saw that similar language, as he promised, in a statement that was released yesterday. So I'm going to read that full statement for you, if you haven't heard it already. But this is a statement from the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party responding to Michael Pintard. And Pintard's unfounded claims, they're saying. So the statement reads, the Progressive Liberal Party is built on a foundation of respect for the democratic process and the people of the Bahamas. The recent claims made by Michael Pintard against our party are not only completely false, but they also show disregard for these democratic principles. Mr. Pintard's allegations about the PLP attempting to buy votes are serious. If he truly believes his own words, we challenge him to take these claims to the police. This is how serious accusations should be handled. Through proper legal channels, not through media stunts. The F&M chairman, Dwight, said he gone on record saying the party has zero proof, so the F&M has no credibility on this issue. Michael Pintard, this is the statement, Michael Pintard, who was forced to resign as F&M chairman for unethical behavior, and Dwayne Sands, who was photographed handing money on the campaign trail have no moral authority to lecture the POP on campaign ethics. The time for theatrics is over. Mr. Pintard must now choose to either act responsibly by filing a complaint or to publicly withdraw his accusations and apologize for his attempts to mislead the public and manipulate the media. The silence of Mr. Pintard and his candidate, Bishop Ricardo Grant, on their own issues is loud and clear. Their failure to respond to allegations about their campaign calls into question their ability to lead with transparency. The POP remains focused on advancing the well-being of all Bahamians and will not be deterred by these attempts at political distraction. We will continue to stand for truth and integrity in politics, and we call on our opponents to do the same. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's get your views on what you're hearing there. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. You can call us toll free if you're in Grand Bahama. Give us a call. 242-300-5720. 300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-GR96, 422-4796. Remember, standard text rates apply. All right, let's get your reaction to that, folks. What do you think of the statement? Again, Trey Ramming said the same thing yesterday. You know, this is a serious matter. We're not going to take this lightly. You shouldn't take this lightly. If you do have the evidence, go to the police. Do that now. Or is it all of this just the showboating and the theatrics that they talked about? Is it everybody just doing the politics thing the way we do it here in the Bahamas? Do you think anything's going to come out of it? Does it make any difference now? The by-election's tomorrow. Or do we need to do this once and for all to stamp this out? Let's hear from you. Give us a call on the matter. All right, some other very serious claims made in these final few campaign hours. This is from the FNM and former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram, who's been doing a lot of talking. So last night, right here in Grand Bahama, West Grand Bahama, former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram insisting that the PLP has neglected the constituency. Ingram once again saying that the PLP is only using Wilscombe's name to win votes in the by-election. Ingram said, quote, "Here in West Grand Bahama, my brother, Obie Wilscombe, who was your MP and spent 17 years in the House, was a senior minister in the government. He did his best. I wanted you to know I knew Obie. He was a friend of mine. He loved you and you loved him back. He tried. He did his best. They don't want him to be a candidate. They didn't want him to be a candidate the last time. Now they got his name all up in their mouth. Obie this and Obie that. When he was alive, Obie was nothing to them." Ingram continued, "The same people who are talking to you now about Obie were the ones who kept him down and neglected you. The high school is being built just down the street here. That's been under construction for 8 years. 8 years, 8 long years. And they say they care. And the building that they just opened, the government complex in West Grand Bahama, no services have been provided there yet. I do not excuse the FNM for not completing the school. We know what the PLP did. The PLP gave the school contract to 2 different contractors to build one school, but you know that don't work. Okay. Obie was an articulate, experienced man, a senior member in the government, but he couldn't get it done. Tell me how is Kingsley Smith, who couldn't even fill out his form to get nominated properly, how is he going to get it done? How is Kingsley, who works for the government, and if you work for the government, you can only get paid by transfer of your money in the bank account, and he said he ain't got none." Okay, well, this has been a very controversial matter. Kingsley Smith, on his declaration form, stating that he didn't have a bank account. And many have been questioning what that's all about. And you heard it earlier, what the long list of things that Kingsley Smith said that he's going to be able to do or that he wants to do. Got to take a deep breath before I read this long list again. This is Kingsley Smith promising job creation, a Royal Bahamas Defense Force base in West End, a new West End police station, a new school, a new Bimini airport, a new resort in Boodle Bay, new docks for fishermen, a new house in West End, a new fish house in West End, the West End Fish Village Project, the West Grand Bahama Affordable Housing Project, and free Wi-Fi in all parks in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. How will it all happen? Anything and everything that anybody thinks of, we just say it? Is that what it is? Yeah? All right. Let's get your views. Keep calling in. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and toll free 242-300-5720. All right, let me bring in Laverne Gardner. Good morning, Laverne Gardner.
Good morning.
I think. Say that again.
Good morning.
Oh, there we go. Okay, good, got you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you in person again.
And we are.
Treat this week.
And we are here. In New Providence. New Providence gave us the.
From the Obadiah H. Wilcom complex. Unlike yesterday when we were outside.
Right. New Providence gave us the go ahead.
We're not going to let that go.
Never going to let it go. Never going to let it go.
Okay,
everybody.
We're going to pretend just like that was a shocker to you. Okay, we can go with that.
No, but I need the Bahamian people to understand, right? That never forget that. That decisions like that, where the two people can stand outside a building, that has to go to Nassau for them to approve it. That's how this country works. And if you think that's fine, if you think you should have to call New Providence if you're in Acklands or Grand Bahama or Inagua to find out whether two people can stand outside a building, and you have to wait for people in Nassau to decide whether that's good. If you think that's how this country should work, well, carry on smartly. Carry on smartly. But yeah. They're telling me I just didn't know who to call. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, we're here now. We're gonna try to forget about it.
Yeah. Let's focus on the fact that we're actually here now, and all these wonderful promises that the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini can look forward to.
All right. So let's get some responses to what the PLP said in response to what you heard yesterday. Same thing that Trey Ramling said when he called the show, and to what Hubert Ingram was saying about Kingsley Smith not going to be able to do that long list. You heard all the things he's going to do, all the fish market and the new school and the new that and that. How can he do that in 3 years when Obi wasn't able to do all these things in, over almost 3 terms, right?
Right.
And then the bank account issue, which was brought up again.
Yes, which was brought up again.
Yeah. All right, so we got some text messages coming in. We'll get to... And the static is coming back to tell me. Okay. This text message. Dwight, what grown man in 2023 doesn't have a bank account? Something ain't right. Well, I suspect a lot of grown men don't have bank accounts. But not people who have positions like what Kingsley Smith had.
I just have this question, I'm sorry. If you are employed by government and you do not have a bank account, how are you getting paid every month? How are they paying you? Is it a water cash? You just go and pick up from payroll? How does that work? You know, back in the day, do they put your salary in cash in like one of those little yellow envelopes?
Back in the day.
So I'm thinking that maybe he just did not list it. I refuse to accept the fact that he does not have some account. It may not be with a bank, it may be with a credit union, but he has to have something. There is no way that he does not have an account somewhere. He maybe just chose not to list it. I can't accept that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It is quite something. Quite something. Is it going to be an issue, a big issue for voters, though? Will that matter to them?
Right.
Or will they be able to relate?
If he becomes a member of parliament, then where are they going to send? Because, every year they get a disbursement for their constituency. So where is that going to go?
Yeah, sure, it won't be very hard for him to set up a bank account. Many options for him. So he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Well, I'm just waiting for him to come back out and clarify.
Yeah.
And say, this was the mistake.
But it's been weeks though, and no clarification yet.
I'm hoping he comes back up. And he's like, this is a mistake, this is an error. Yeah. Because other than that, is he keeping his money under his mattress? Isn't that a commercial? Is your money safe? Well, yeah. I keep it under my bed.
You might get more interest if you do that. I don't know.
But that is curious. I mean, and like you said, is that an issue, though, for voters? I don't know. I don't know if that's an issue other than that's odd.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a deal breaker. Oh, I'm not going to vote for him because he doesn't have an account. I don't think,
All right, folks. So let's talk about this now. Let's get this out of the way. So we met 3 candidates yesterday.
We did.
Name all 3.
Yes, we met Tennille Burrows. She came. And then after that, we had Mr. Lincoln Bain. And then our last candidate yesterday was Mr. Daquan Swain.
Right. There are 2 other candidates.
We have 2 other candidates to go. We have Mr. Kingsley Smith from the Progressive Liberal Party. And we have Bishop Ricardo Grant from the Free National Movement.
So those are the only 2 we haven't talked to yet.
Correct.
The big question today is, will we talk to them?
Are they not scheduled?
They're scheduled. They were invited. But will they come?
Okay.
It'll be the great mystery.
Well, we shall see. We shall see.
We will see. Didn't get a definitive confirmation from the PLP.
Okay.
But, they're like, yeah, he coming. Right? Okay. From the FNM, actually got 2 no.
Oh, okay.
No.
So the bishop is not coming.
Doesn't sound like it. It may be a miracle that he is a bishop, so we will see.
If they already said no, then I think we can safely say that he's not going
Something about him being busy.
Right.
And then there was another
This is the day before the election,
Yeah,
so
sure.
they're doing their final campaigning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe they just don't want to talk to you. It isn't me. It's you. Maybe they just don't want to talk to you.
Well, I think it's going to be quite interesting, right? Why wouldn't you? What's the big deal? Huh? Very strange.
The schedule wouldn't allow.
Very strange. Well, we'll see. We're here till 10 a.m. So we'll see if they come by. They all know where we are. Everybody knows. We'll see who shows up, who doesn't. Very interesting that the 3 more independent candidates had no issue.
Maybe they, the more, as we say, independent candidates, the newer candidates on the political scene in the sense of a new party, and then, of course, the 2 independents. Maybe
The 3 who think for themselves.
Maybe they. Why are you putting?
Because that's exactly what it is.
May I speak though?
Continue.
Thank you. Maybe they thought it was, doing this and coming and speaking. It gave them another opportunity to be able to reach more people, to reaffirm what their ideas are, what it is that they want to do. So they saw it as necessary to get their message out, and maybe the other 2 more seasoned parties They don't need this kind of publicity. They don't need Guardian. They don't need to be here. It's we're busy doing our campaign. We don't have time for you.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Either that or it's you. So
anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
So if you heard the shows yesterday, no, we didn't get much of an opportunity to hear from you all. I know people were trying to call in, but we didn't have much time. We had to get the 3 candidates in. And so if you want to comment, give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, or toll free. Calls from Grand Bahama, 242-300-5720. One of the parties offered to send some other people.
Okay.
But no. We wanted to hear from
You want to hear from the candidate, though.
Yeah. Right.
But they work as a team, though. They work as a team. So they usually do, They work as a team. The bigger parties.
Brain.
And like you said, we'll see what happens. You'll see what happens. This is the final day to reach who you haven't reached, touch who you haven't touched, to just reiterate your message. And so I'm sure they're going to be all 5 of the candidates are, giving that last effort.
Yeah, that's right.
5 of them, right? Yeah, 5.
5. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on Morning Blend live in 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama.
Morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah, well, you have the woman of the soil, eh? 8 Mile Rock.
Well, Grand Bahama, definitely.
Yeah, I'm here. We're here in 8 Mile Rock. I'm not from 8 Mile Rock, though.
No, I know you're not from 8 Mile Rock. I mean, in terms of the logistic, in terms of the death, you're not far from it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was astonished to hear yesterday morning Dwight said he had to call NASA to get permission to have a broadcast. Are you serious about that?
Well, not to have the broadcast, but to be able to come into the new government complex and to broadcast from there. So
it was a misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding. And technically, so let me be fair to the people. That's what we were told, right? But the person is in Freeport who they needed to talk to, and it wasn't explained to the person properly. And so, but anyway, we got it sorted out yesterday after the show. But that was what was said. And my issue is that even though it apparently wasn't NASA that they had to call, but the fact that somebody had to call somebody and they think it was normal to say, let me call New Providence.
It is normal.
And that can't be normal for the development of this country. We can't continue like this.
I'm not saying that we can continue like this. I'm saying, but this is the normal that exists right now. So the question is, what do we do moving forward? But right now, that is the norm. Mm-hmm. That's the norm. You got to get the go-ahead from New Providence. Yeah. You got to get the say-so.
You still there, caller?
Yeah, I had to take in a deep breath. It's just mind-boggling, and this is the reason why local government is more and more necessary. Totally necessary. I mean, true local government in the sense of true transformation, because this idea of local government just given some $20,000 or $25,000 in some incidents to deal with a whole community is just nonsense. Local government needs to have its autonomy. It needs to have a body that can really enhance the local community. That's why it's called local government. But we are so far from what the true meaning of the word.
Yep. Hopefully one day in our lifetime, Laverne, that we get to see.
I'm looking forward to that. That we have a local, real local government.
Yeah, you have me on board with that one.
Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, real decentralized government where the people are empowered on each island, right, to do things, only come into the federal government when they really, really, really need something. But what somebody's afraid, right? Somebody's afraid. Somebody's very afraid, and I don't understand it. All right, we got a lot of your text messages. You can continue to call in, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Or toll free. 242-300-5720. All right, let's get your messages. Lots of questions about Kingsley Smith and this bank account issue. After all you just experienced, come to the end of the PLP term, you will be right there encouraging Bamans to line up and vote for these clowns. Line up and vote, definitely. But I mean, I don't know.
That's a statement to you.
Yeah, I guess so.
That you're going to be in. Okay.
I mean, what do you think we should do? Just allow the dictator to just do whatever he wants indefinitely? That's the type of country you want?
All people who are eligible to vote to go ahead and vote. We're not saying who to vote for. That's your determination. Or are you, Dwight?
Me?
Is that texter saying that?
No, I think they have a problem with voting in general. Just, what are we voting for? They just do whatever they want.
Right.
That kind of thing. And I understand the frustration.
There are some people who are just frustrated and they aren't going to vote. And that's a real thing. And so what these parties, these people have to figure out, these candidates, is how do we get those disenfranchised, those disinterested, those disappointed people back, how do we get them back?
Yeah. This person says in the Bahamas it takes almost 2 months to open a bank account. Is that right? I don't think it. No. It takes a few weeks.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't take a few weeks. But I would tell you, if you plan to open an account, depending on where you go, you should probably put in for a vacation day. But let's be fair. It won't take you months, 2 months.
No, it won't take 2
months. A regular account. Now, maybe if it's a business account, but a regular account, it's gonna actually take you the whole day. Just be prepared.
Which one do you think? You think if you have millions, it takes longer, or that gets you it faster?
I don't know. Probably gets you faster.
Okay.
For sure.
This person says he has to have an account. So if he failed to list that, then his declaration is an error, and we are not following the law. He should be disqualified. He also did not list a salary that is lining up with his position. I don't remember all of that.
Well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. If he does come, we're going to ask him and give him an opportunity to clarify that. Until then, the mystery continues. To account or not to account?
My goodness. This is interesting. A lot of people have been talking about this. What's really interesting is how Menace is not anywhere to be found. What are your views on that?
Come on, guys. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend. I don't know if the populace is really ready to hear from the former Prime Minister on the campaign trail for anyone.
Not at this time.
Not at
it's only
this
been
time.
2 years.
Not at this time.
You have a new leader who's trying to establish himself as the head of that party. This could cause confusion.
I don't know if it can cause confusion.
Oh, really good.
I don't think people are confused. I just don't think that people, they are ready. They're not ready yet.
I mean,
maybe another year or two. Or is that just me? Maybe that's
I totally agree with you. People are just being mischievous. I think everybody knows this.
Yeah.
And what? So what if he isn't there?
There are other people who aren't on the campaign trail.
That's true.
It's not like the entire party comes, right? But he is.
There's a lot of people. There's a good number of people.
I mean, in fairness, he is the former prime minister, the most recent former prime minister.
And this is not unique. We've seen this before in other countries where the former leader could be seen as a liability, and so you just got to arrest that person for a while. Maybe,
right.
Maybe I don't know if you'll see them in 3 years either, but maybe in 7, 8 years.
Maybe it's strategic. It was, they sat down and they said, "What strategy are we going to use?"
Yeah, no, that could bring back trauma. People could get freaked out. Can you imagine if he gets up? My fellow Bahamians, oh my God, everyone's running from the campaign, from the rally. This texter says, I feel like in the age of technology, the declarations should be typed. The only thing that should be handwritten is the signatures. I mean, that's what you're concerned about, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free, 242-300-5720. Caller, good morning, you're on the air. Are you there? Did we lose you? Had you hold on too long? All right, call us back. Is this right? You saw that? I did see a clip, a little, like a picture. The former PM is pushing his 3-part memoir. He wrote a book. Did you? Menace.
Okay. That's
You're not gonna rush out to?
I'm gonna see if I can get it in the Kindle version.
I don't know. I don't believe you. We have another caller.
Doubt me when I say that?
I feel some sort of way. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. So, what do you think? Will it mean anything if these two don't come today? They don't join us? What does that say? What does that say about them, the PLP and the FNM's relationship with the media, the way that they interact with us? What does it say?
I mean, we could try to read all of that into it, but for me,
Shouldn't we?
I don't think that it does. I honestly don't, because I mean, and they've all been on at some point, but in their grand scheme of things,
For the candidates
today,
for a by-election.
I agree. I agree, but they just
And there are
figure.
questions for both of them, right? And, people want answers to some serious things, but they're not making themselves available,
Right.
or they're not being made available. Is that
Well,
the better way to put
the
it?
preference is a controlled environment. This maybe there's a fear that there's a question that you may put to them that they are not able to adequately answer, right? So it's easier to have them speak at rallies in a controlled environment with just your supporters. You're not going to get maybe any pushback or any questions that you fumble. You just get up there and you say your prepared speech. Everybody there already is enamored with you. Yay, 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 and that's it.
Right.
It's intimidating coming on and, having to think on your feet and to be able to clearly articulate those thoughts so that people understand and receive them the way you intended. That's intimidating for some people, so that's already uncomfortable. And then if there's a question that may be controversial or make them uncomfortable. So it's all of that.
Okay. Got a few more of your text messages. Person says here, I'm a faithful Grand Bahama listener. I think it's high time. You listening to this?
I am.
High time that Guardian Radio extend their reach to Grand Bahama via radio. Then you'd have more Grand Bahama listeners.
150,000% I agree with that. When I talk to people about Guardian Radio, it's always okay with station. And then I got to go into the whole, all right, well, go to our
The website.
The website.
Or listen online.
Or go to listen online or go
Cable
to
Bahamas,
the app. Or
969, or Flow,
yeah.
BTC Flow,
Or
612.
hey, you're calling all of these options.
Yeah.
What about us just being able to put it on 96.9 and hear Guardian Radio?
In Freeport.
In Grand Bahama.
So
I agree with that texter. It's high time.
Okay.
And I think also
You
it's
know-
high time that because Guardian does have
you
faithful
know-
Grand Bahama listeners, at least once a month, Guardian Morning Blend specifically
should come down here?
to Grand Bahama.
Yeah? Okay. You're gonna put us up?
I don't want guardian. I think that's a conversation for management.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Folks, I hear you. We definitely have over the years considered it a lot, a number of times. You know, it's very interesting because people will tell you these days, especially with the direct from Japan vehicles that folks are driving all over the country. They'll tell you, "Oh, my radio can't pick you up." So we've heard all those excuses before too, right? But I hear you. Management will consider
Dwight,
this
make it
option once
happen.
again. Consider the option once again. Thank you for the support, and thank you for still listening to us, despite us not having a radio presence here. But we know a lot of you listening to us online on the islands, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. We thank you for the support, Grand Bahama. Thank you for showing up. Dwight is going to call Nassau to see if he can get permission to do that. Looks like you have to call Nassau too, Dwight. Uh-huh.
Just keeping it consistent, eh? Okay.
It impacts you too.
I think we should use that. Let that be a thing. When everyone do something, hey, you going to come to the party? Let me call New Providence.
Let me call New Providence and find out.
What are you doing for New Year's? I don't know. I gotta call New Providence.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right. Oh boy. What do you think of this? Grand Bahama needs to be its own country. I don't think they mean that. Do you think they mean that? Or do they mean more autonomy where you can decide on your own
Well,
things?
every now and then we get that kind of a text,
No,
right?
not
Sell
like that.
Grand
You're right,
Bahama.
sell Grand Bahama.
Yeah, things
Right.
like that. So,
Which
you know,
is
whatever.
a lot more insulting. I mean,
Yeah.
independence is a little different than let's sell them off.
Right.
Ah, boy. Okay,
I choose
chicken.
not to respond to comments like that.
They just don't understand.
Yeah.
And folks, if you've traveled, if you've been to Florida and you've been to another state, just know that nobody has to call Washington for many of the decisions that happen in those places. Right? They've got mayors and governors, and they're handling their business. And
But this is the Bahamas,
So what?
where we get our business handled for us.
Yeah.
Power.
You're getting
That's
the
what it all
business.
comes
You're getting the business, all
You
right.
better
You
believe
are
it.
getting the business. Okay. This person says a chicken will grow teeth, Dwight, before we see real functioning local government. Only if you want chicken to have teeth, texter. If that's what you want, then that's what's going to happen. But if you don't
we
want chicken to have
continue-
teeth,
If we continue to agitate and the government sees this as a priority for the majority of the voting public, we will see this come to fruition.
Yeah.
We will absolutely see it come to fruition.
You
because
have
at
to be
the end of
serious
the
about
day,
it.
the government, anyone who wants to be the government, they want to do things that it's going to allow them to get elected. So if we keep agitating, if we believe in it, and this is what we want to see, we can keep pushing. It can happen.
yeah, everybody has to be serious about it. Be serious about it. All right. More questions about the bank account.
Okay.
If Laverne is serious about asking if he truly has a bank account, he definitely isn't coming to speak with you guys.
Wow, I shouldn't have said that. Hey,
I mean,
just in case they were listening.
gotta
But
ask
was he
about
coming, really? Well, is that going to be the deal breaker?
Just explain it, you know.
Yeah, it is curious. Honestly, it is, right? I'm not saying that it's going to be it's detrimental to his campaign. I'm just saying it's a curious thing.
You could turn it into a, like a competition. Which bank wants we? And have them all,
Vying.
make it a reality show.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay. Don't underestimate Dr. Minutes.
What does that mean? I don't know. I don't understand
Dr.
what that
Minutes
means.
texting us again. Always sending us these messages.
I don't know.
Okay, and this one says, did you hear last night that former Prime Minister Minutes has written a book? Who's going to buy that? LOL. Well, Laverne says she would.
What did I say? I did not say that, Dwight.
You said you're going to get the
asked you-
Kindle version.
I said I'm going to go online and see if they have it in the Kindle version.
And then you're going to see it and say, oh, they have it. And then turn the app off and move on. Okay. Oh, yep, they have it.
Yeah, just wanted to confirm.
Right.
I like to be informed so that I can say definitively, yes, it is in the Kindle version.
Mm-hmm.
You can purchase it on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a very serious statement. The PLP put out a statement accusing SANS of impropriety, but wants us to believe they have seen the second coming of the Lord and are so righteous now. Wow. Well, and this one says here, if Kingsley Smith cannot do what he says, what he is going to do in Grand Bahama Bimini, do you think that the F&M could do what he says that he is going to do for what he says? What is he going to do for Grand? What is happening here? What's going on with this text? Kingsley stands a better chance because he'll be part of the government. Okay, so they went, that's a long roundabout way to say what they wanted to say there. Yeah. All right. Call in, folks, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and toll free, 242-300-5720. All right. So, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, a lot more of our show here from 8 Mile Rock. Again, is going to be an interesting day. We're waiting to see if the final two candidates going to be with us. We've got a lot of other people coming to join us as well to talk about what's going on here in West Grand Bahama and Bimini and in Grand Bahama in general. So that's all I had, and we want to hear from you as well. Again, live from the Obadiah H. Wilstrom Complex in 8 Mile Rock, this is a special edition of Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're going to be right back.
Way out west, there live this dame. She'll put any dancer to shame. If you want to watch her dance, want to watch her prance, get her in a circle, watch that lady dance. She got a west end move, she got a west end groove, she got a west end move, she got a west end groove. She say, come here, let me show you how we does go. Cause when you come to West End, you might meet old Joe. Now here is a story about this man, so you would better understand. You see, up in the Bight, that's where them people are.
This
so nice.
is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Is a deal to release some of the hostages Hamas is holding close? Just yesterday, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said this.
We believe we're closer than we've ever been, so we're hopeful. But there's still work to be done, and nothing is done until it's all done.
Well, there's word this morning that Hamas says it's close to a deal to release some of the hostages it's holding as its war with Israel drags on. The AP's Charles de Ledesma.
Senior Hamas officials say an agreement could be reached soon in which the militant group would release hostages and Israel would free Palestinian prisoners. Israel, the US and Qatar, which mediates with Hamas, have been negotiating for weeks over a hostage release that would be paired with a temporary ceasefire in Gaza and the entry of more humanitarian aid. Similar predictions, though, of a hostage agreement in recent weeks have proven premature. Hamas's leader in exile, Ismail Haniyeh, has also said they were close to a deal. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
So many of us are going to be traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday that we're expected to break records. 55 million of us, says the AAA. Roads likely to be the most congested tomorrow. The busiest days to fly will be today and tomorrow, and the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Now to Hawaii, where officials say a U.S. Navy plane overshot a runway and splashed into a bay. Fortunately, nobody hurt. There were 9 people on board. In Colorado, there's a gunman on the loose. The search is on for a man believed to have shot and killed 3 people in a property dispute. The Custer County Sheriff's Office says a fourth person is critically wounded. In Beaver Creek, Ohio, a gunman opened fire at a Walmart last night, wounding 4 people before apparently killing himself, say police. And in sports, the Eagles beat the Chiefs last night. This is AP News. Germany's defense minister is in Ukraine a day after U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin traveled to Ukraine.
The Pentagon's chief making a high-profile push to keep money and weapons flowing to Ukraine. On an unannounced visit to Kyiv, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced a new U.S. aid package.
Another $100 million drawdown,
including air defense munitions and another HIMARS system. Some European nations have scaled back support for Ukraine, and the U.S. is stretched thin amid support for Israel and a fight in Congress over more money for Kyiv. In a meeting with President Vladimir Zelensky, Austin pledged support in the Russia fight for the long haul.
I wanted to reassure the leadership.
Zelensky said he appreciated it. Sagar Magani, Washington.
And I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
Time for your first good traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee loan plus 5 chances to win up to $5,000. And in your real-time traffic this morning, as usual, in New Providence, heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway in the northbound lanes from well south of Fire Trail Road this morning, straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. That's the northbound lanes again. Over on Glaston Road, also busy for you from well south of Fire Trail straight up to JFK Drive. We're seeing a bit of congestion on JFK as well along Lake Cunningham if you're heading eastbound and westbound from Prospect Ridge and Harold Road to the roundabout with Bahamar Boulevard and Glaston Road. That's what we're seeing there. Over in eastern New Providence, we've got congestion on Eastern Road from just east of Fox Hill Road to about Johnson Road. And then along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections like Beatrice Avenue and west of Soldier Road, where Robinson to Old Trail, heavy traffic for you there. Blue Hill Road also congested near Carmichael and northbound on the way to Independence Drive in the northbound lanes there, especially north of Soldier Road. As we're seeing so far, we'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas Cash. Time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got high pressure across the area. That's going to continue to support moderate to fresh breezes and pleasant conditions for the next few days. Boaters and beachgoers should continue to exercise caution due to the presence of swells, rough surf, and hazardous rip currents. So for today, for all areas, your forecast calls for sunny and breezy conditions with a chance of isolated showers becoming fair and breezy tonight. Small craft advisory in effect due to swells. Temperature-wise, today we're looking at highs getting up to around 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, high pressure will continue to dominate weather over the islands, promoting some beautiful conditions. And a weak cold front is expected to move into the northwest Bahamas on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. So, for tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly sunny and warm with a chance of a few isolated passing showers, becoming fair and mild at night for you voting here in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Thursday, partly sunny and warm with isolated showers, mainly over the extreme northwest Bahamas as the frontal boundary approaches. We'll have a closer look at the tropics in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. This weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Unleash the power of electricity. Test drive an electric vehicle at Easy Car Sales and discover the instant torque, quiet ride, and the power of an EV. Visit easy242.com and plug into the evolution of transportation.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
This Christmas, your wish could come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
There's a new electric vehicle in town. The Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans. Available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack and don't you pump gas no more.
Tonight's big matchup with Infection United is about to start. Kate has possession of the flu. She coughs up a pass across to Steve, who gives it to William. William is causing headaches on the field. He spreads it to Rachel, who scores a hospital bed.
Don't play with respiratory infections like influenza or COVID-19. They can lead to hospitalization and even death. Advise patients to keep a safe distance, practice good hygiene, and get vaccinated. Don't play with their health.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, PAHO WHO, and the Canadian government.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
Go CIBC First Caribbean. We help you
to get what you want this year. Spin the wheel of wishes with a trip for two to Miami. Spin the wheel of wishes. You can win loads of cash for Christmas. CIBC First Caribbean.
Win with your approved loan. Visit CIBC-FCIB/Wheel of Wishes for more information. Conditions apply.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Unlock dream deals this Black Friday at Alive with up to 55% off select Ring devices. Instantly upgrade your home security with 24/7 remote monitoring, motion detection, and instant alerts. Want full protection? Save even more by bundling your devices. From the front door to the backyard, secure your home with products like our Video Doorbell 4 and floodlight cameras. Shop online at BeAlive.com or at select Alive stores in Nassau and now available in Grand Bahama, Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma. Alive. Believe in best.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
You don't gotta stand in line. Pay online. You can pay your premiums on time. Right at Camina.com. Whether it's life, home, auto, marine, or health, it's all inside your palm. Pay your insurance at Camina.com. Whether it's life, home, auto, marine, or health, whether it's life, home, auto, marine, or health, we've got you covered. Right at Camina.com.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef, it's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
What the? Ooh, sorry, it's 4 a.m. What you doing?
The CVS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CVS Bahamas, Southwest Plaza location only.
Celebrate the holidays in style with Nassau Tiles Holiday Sale from November 22nd to 29th. Save up to 25% off select porcelain tiles, up to 30% off ceramic tiles, and 20% off store-wide on all tiles, thin set, grout, and mosaics. Our dedicated tile experts will guide you in choosing the right tile for your floor, wall, indoor, or outdoor space. Visit the Nassau Tile Showroom today at number 43 Doswell Street or call our tile experts at 322-2100 to make your dream space a reality.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASUS savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Way out west, there live this dame. She'll put any dancer to shame. If you want to watch her dance, want to watch her prance, get her in a circle, watch that lady dance. She got a West End move. She got a West End groove. She got a West End move. She got a West End groove. She say, come here, let me show you how we does go. Cause when you come to West End, you might meet old Joe. Now here is a story about this man.
Welcome back to Morning Blend. We're coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. We're at the Obadiah H. Wilshcombe Complex. Dwight, Strachan with Laverne Gardner. I want to thank our wonderful sponsors for making this broadcast 2 days possible. Western Air and Old Bahama Bay Resort in West End. and KSR Rent-A-Car, our special sponsors for this special broadcast. Okay, so we got a special guest. You hear him often on the show, but we don't get to have him in front of us all the time. But it's always a pleasure when he is with us. C. Alan Johnson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning,
Great to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Hope all is well.
Yes.
So, let's talk. Let's talk about all of this. This is what's going on here. We just got confirmation, right? We heard that it might be happening yesterday, but they're doing it. They're having cabinet meet here this morning. So here we go again, right? But what do you think? What do you think the people think when things like that happen here?
What happens is the Grand Bahamians are not as backwards as politicians somehow think us to be. And we understand there's a level of theatrics. There's just a certain demographics will clap and celebrate and whatever else, but there's a certain amount of theatrics. We in Grand Bahama and West Grand Bahama knows the condition of this. We know the condition of the schools. We know the condition of the seawall. We know the condition that we need a new high school. We know that we have yet to get the middle school, waiting almost 10 years. We know that the state of the schools in West Grand Bahama, and in fact the entire Bahamas, needs an urgent upgrade, more so not just for upgrade, but for the 21st century upgrade. We are aware of these things. The problem is that Grand Bahama itself has not been given the respect that it has for what we have contributed to the economy. And this is why, for myself and others, we've been very disappointed in what we have heard on the campaign stages. Primarily from the government party, because of course the opposition can take leave to say that we don't have the ability to create policies and positions. But we wanted to hear what are you going to do for the people? Because we've been hearing about the hotel, we've been hearing about these things. So here it is that the hotel is a low-hanging fruit, but you're talking about a new development in West Grand Bahama that's maybe years away. What do we do for light food and jobs and things for that meantime? So it's absolutely necessary on Thursday to actually see what is going to happen. But, I would also say it's partly our fault because we have been somewhat passive. And so I think it's time for Grand Bahamians himself to look at the promises that's being made and see that they are followed through. Let's use, for example, let's just use an example. If Mr. Kinkley Smith wins, we already know the things that he said he's going to do.
It's a long list.
Yes, but it's government responsibility. Mr. Kinkley Smith can't do any. Let's use the seawall example. $100 million for the seawall. $40 million for the police station, defense force, the housing, and the fire station, along with the ambulatory care. Then you have the school. The school is going to take another few million to finish, no matter what they say, maybe $1 or $2 million, because some things that has to be done has been sitting there and has to also now be brought up to scale. Then it's the same thing with this building. This building requires some furnishing, some infrastructural work that still has to be finished, some technology advancement has to occur here. The technology hasn't been here. So for those, we understand it's a form of theatrics. The question we have is, so what are you going to do for people? What are you going to do to build communities? What are you going to do to build businesses? Saying that you're going to build a boat ramp don't mean nothing if we have no boats.
I want to go back to something you said about being too passive. And I feel that is the whole Bahamas. Everybody is just waiting to hear ideas from the people we elect and expecting they know all the answers. That's how we've been trained, you say?
Yeah, conditioning. It's part of conditioning.
It is. And
this
is what you see. All of this, the coming here, like C. Allen said, the having the because it's supposed to be a big thing. We opened the complex and now we're having a cabinet meeting here. Wow.
And what are you going to discuss?
Right? And so now you've wowed. And so we've been conditioned, and we've also been conditioned through many, many years to sit and to wait to see what government is going to do. That's the conditioning. It's already, All
right, so how do we change this?
This is where it requires leadership that goes beyond the ideas, the conversation of ideas. We are in a brand new world. COVID brought in what is called the fifth social revolution. Social is how you behave, how you congregate, how you do business, how you do everything else. The question now is that at the same time, it accelerated the digital revolution, accelerated the technical revolution, and it actually has moving the fourth industrial, almost past the fourth industrial, into what is called the fifth, because we have this emergence of IoT and 5. The question is, what do we do now to tap into the intelligence, not just here in the Bahamas, but in the Bahamian diaspora? And begin to have conversation, not from the farmed ideas. When we have leadership says, I'm going to give you boats, I'm going to make sure you have these things, we have to begin to have things to say how. and have debates on the implementation of those things.
The how.
On the hows. You know, I think you guys use the 5W. I think I have 6 of them: the how, what, where, when, who, and everything.
Yeah.
The next thing is the how. The most important is the hows. And you'll find out that 90% of the people who say what they will do or what could happen
don't
not have that
necessarily
ability.
have the how.
Because I guess nobody has, not many asked. Right.
Because it sounds good.
And you've seen it being done someplace else.
Right, and it sounds good to hear. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, and that sounds good because those are the things that, as a Bahamian, that you want to hear. So you hear that, and that sounds exciting to you. But we really never delve into the how are we going to do this? How is this going to happen?
Let's use technology as an example. A lot of people don't know in 1968, the Linden started the digital revolution supposed to be in the Bahamas. 1968. Yet here we are. We're still struggling with getting paperless documents and all those different things. The question we now have to ask ourselves is, why is that where we are still struggling with these things? You hear government always saying that we're creating a database for housing. We're creating a database for what do you call it? Registry and everything else. It's amazing that we spend millions of dollars with consultants who follow instructions of people that don't know what they're doing when you can buy these off the shelf. You have billion-dollar companies that go to Amazon, that go to Dell, that go to Microsoft to have these things done. But we're spending millions of dollars because we say we're going to help the humans develop this. Well, if they are not understanding the first presence of it, then you will not get the quality of you're running a government. This isn't that they're experimenting with a small project, and so you buy technology. You know what scares me with our government? It seems to me if you use the analogy of technology and you chip a tooth, government is one of them that said no problem, we'll take it out ourselves. You know, instead of you go and buying the expertise of a dentist.
All right, we're going to go to news in a bit. So I'm going to start this. We can pick it up after the news, but it keeps coming up every 5 years. There are 5 seats here. Sometimes one party has all the seats. Sometimes they have the majority, 3 out of whatever. But it doesn't seem to make a difference. What's not connecting with the members of parliament and the people? What don't they get? What aren't we all getting as to why Grand Bahama can't seem to get over this hurdle, this little slump that it's in right now?
One thing, the complexity of the impact of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement for business throughout this entire island. Not just for it's in Freeport. A lot of people don't understand is now things have been extended out of Freeport that has bled into the other areas. And Freeport then became the heart, the airport, the harbor, and all of these different things. And so because you're now dealing with a government within the government, had Freeport become the municipal government you praise for, Freeport calls for it. And this is why they gave us local government anyway, to appease us when we were extending the thing. But the problem is that Freeport government says that you're supposed to be totally autonomous, exactly the way you envision. But except that the Hawksbill Agreement says one thing: whatever applies in Freeport to Bahamians must apply to Bahamians everywhere. So if you give them the power, which the Freeport call for evolving into taking the licensing and governance and taxation the Port Authority do, it's supposed to go to the local government. You give them the true capacity of that, as the Hawksbill Creek Agreement called for. You must now give it not to just Freeport, not Grand Bahama, to everyone.
The whole country. And somebody's afraid of that, hey? Yes. A lot of people are afraid of that.
Remember they said to the local government, what are we going to do? They don't, because they're so used to picking up the garbage and paving the road, they don't understand that their job is legislation, policy, procedures, policies, processes, whatever. And so, and I support a full-time parliament. You come in there, you work for there, and you work on building a country, and you have local government run the country.
Absolutely. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk about why so many Bahamians don't believe that this can happen, that we even deserve it. Every time we talk about it, they say, oh, cows will fly before this happens in the Bahamas, Dwight. Why are we like this? We're going to get into that with C. Alan Johnson when we get back. We are live in 8 Mile Rock, folks, and the by-election 24 hours away. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Listen here. Bimini Island, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. We go in Bimini Island, here I come. Here I come. got a lot of pretty women and I'm gonna get me one. Tell me about it now.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend. We're coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. Here for the West Grand Bahama Bimini by-election, which is tomorrow. Our special broadcast brought to you by Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort in West End, and KSR Rent-A-Car. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. And now at 8:20, it is time for another check of your weather for today. Here's what's happening. We've got high pressure across the area. That's going to continue to support moderate to fresh breezes and pleasant conditions for the next few days. Mariners and beachgoers should continue to exercise caution due to the presence of swells, rough surf, and hazardous rip currents. For all areas today, forecast calls for sunny and breezy conditions with a chance of isolated showers, becoming fair and breezy tonight. Smallcraft advisory in effect due to swells. Temperatures today getting up to around 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. Currently in 8 Mile Rock, where we are, it is 75 degrees. Under sunny skies. In your extended outlook for the next couple of days, high pressure will continue to dominate the weather over the islands, promoting beautiful weather, and a weak cold front is expected to move into the northwest Bahamas on Thursday. So for tomorrow, Wednesday, election day here in Grand Bahama and Bimini, mostly sunny and warm with a chance of a few isolated passing showers, becoming fair and mild at night. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we've got partly sunny and warm conditions with isolated showers, mainly over the extreme northwest Bahamas as that frontal boundary approaches. In the tropics, still a few days left in the Atlantic hurricane season, and we are watching a couple of areas. Disorganized showers and thunderstorms associated with an area of low pressure in the central Caribbean Sea has about a 10% chance of formation during the next 7 days. And then an area of low pressure is developing along a frontal boundary just to the southeast of Bermuda. That has about a 50% chance of formation through the next 7 days. But that is your morning blend weather check. At 8:23, time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee RBC loan, plus 5 chances to win $5,000. All right, so for your real-time traffic in New Providence, we still have Minor Butler Highway seeing some heavy traffic from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight up to Tawny-Williams-Darling Highway, and congestion at the roundabout at Tawny-Williams-Darling Highway, both directions, east and westbound, heading toward that roundabout. A little bit further north, we've got at the six-legged roundabout, still heavy traffic northbound and eastbound on JFK Drive. Bit of congestion southbound on New Providence Highway. And even further north at New Providence Highway, the roundabout there, Saunders Beach, you're going to see heavy traffic for you on West Bay Street, eastbound, toward the roundabout a bit better for you once you get past the roundabout. Gladstone Road, still seeing some heavy traffic this morning, northbound. And just a bit of congestion along JFK Drive near Lake Cunningham, but a bit more once you get closer to the roundabout with Prospect Ridge. And then we've got Carmichael Road, heavy traffic for you westbound, extending quite a ways actually to Coral Harbor Road, and even eastbound as well to Blue Hill Road. Blue Road's busy for you from Carmichael up to Independence Drive. Heavy traffic on Independence Drive westbound this morning. East Street also seeing some congestion near Soldier Road, and of course Prince Charles Drive, not pretty for you west of Beatrice Avenue through to Robinson Road. Soldier Road also, as you approach the intersection with Wolf, Bernard, and Village, heavy traffic for you. And then there's Eastern Road, as usual, from east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road. Lots of issues out there. Good luck to you. That is your real-time traffic, though, and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas Cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
This Christmas, your wish could come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas Cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
Holiday madness is going on now at BWF Wilton Street. Deals, 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 and more deals. Come save with us. Get up to 50% off during Black Friday pre-Christmas 6 days blowout sale event. For all you need and more this holiday season, shop BWF for super savings. Doorbuster specials, lots of prizes, surprises, and giveaways Monday, November 20th through Saturday, November 25th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Save big on Christmas supplies, Junkanoo and craft supplies, appliance combo specials, barbecue grills, household, kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, lawn and garden, hardware supplies, industrial and power tools, generators, compressors and pressure washers, and much more. BWF Black Friday pre-Christmas sale. Number 13 Wilton Street, telephone 394-0004 or 6. BWF, we are more than just our name.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It's the season of travel, and we're ready to take you there. Western Air offers daily jet flights between Nassau and some of your favorite island destinations, like Bimini, Andros, Exuma, Cat Island, Abaco, and Grand Bahama. Or if you need to hop stateside, find out what all the hype is about and try Western Air's daily jet flight services to Fort Lauderdale. Remember, all tickets are open, no change fees, no cancellation fees, and the first check bag is free. Visit www.westernairbahama.com. Western Air, we'll take you there.
Looking for the ultimate getaway with luxurious rooms for tranquility and relaxation with friendly customer service plus high-speed internet? Look no further. Old Bahama Bay Accommodations in West End, Grand Bahama offers adjoining ocean view rooms perfect for families with modern West Indian colonial furnishings or elegant suites exquisitely designed for the most discriminating guest. At Old Bahama Bay, you can enjoy the amazing beach, water sports, the pool, and so much more. Or cycle around the historical village of West End. For more information, click on oldbahamabayresorts.com or call 242-602-5170 or 242-602-5171. For the ultimate getaway, just a short flight or boat ride away. Old Bahama Bay, Bayshore Road, West End, Grand Bahama.
What the?
Ooh, sorry,
It's
babes.
4 a.m. What you doing?
The CBS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas, Southwest Plaza location only.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey for every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way. for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Ciao! Fidelity can on this year with their new festive giveaway. You could win cash, an iPhone 15, get a bill paid off, PS5, all kind of things. Apply for a loan or an ASUS savings account, and you could win. Try out, call them now. Here, 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
All right. Yes, I. Yes is back one more time. Live and direct. This one is called Come Go With Me. Back to Bimini, y'all. Listen and watch it. Do it. When I saw you first, I knew you was the one for me. You were very fine, very true and so sexy. Saw you watching me from straight across the room. I knew you was the one, I knew I had to take you home. Be to Ilusa, be to Inagua, be to Long Island.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back. No, they didn't hear it. Good. Welcome back to Morning Blend, Guardian Radio 96.9. We're coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. The voting is tomorrow in the by-election for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. And we can talk about that, too. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow quite a bit, about how, because we can't be here tomorrow. We can't be talking about by-elections or elections on election day. So tomorrow we're going to talk about flowers and candy and we're going to have a good show tomorrow, but we're not going to be able to talk much about this because of some antiquated rules. But we're all working. The industry's working, and we're going to need the public support. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. What you can do to let people know, let the folks that you are mature enough to handle conversations about elections on election day. And,
But Dwight, I have a question for you, though. Considering that
Dwight Strong along with Laverne Gardner and C. Allen Johnson is with us live outside the Obadiah H. Wilshcombe complex in 8 Mile Rock. Go on, C. Allen.
The question I'd ask you is that since 90% of our conversations in the Bahamas concerning politics happen on social media, are they going to shut that down?
Right, and that is part of the challenge. They cannot do that, and this is why the broadcasters are challenging this, because while these things can happen on social media, why should we be restricted by this very old legislation?
We can change this. This isn't something that's ingrained. This isn't something that if we change it, it's going to cause the country to collapse. It doesn't make any sense. People are going to vote for who they're going to vote for, regardless of what. When the very few people go, very few people go to vote and say, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Especially on advanced poll days, and that requires on advanced poll days for us not to talk about these things either, which is insane. Very few people go into advanced poll like, I'm so confused, I don't know what to do.
They've already made up their minds. They've already made up their minds. So the media isn't going to influence them in a different way.
Because what happens is, though, that what happens by having an open broadcast system type environment, it causes us to mature because it brings a whole level of conversation. Now, you're almost like, for me, it's almost like you're telling the media that they're not mature enough. Mm-hmm. Or are you saying that in people involved? But even on this particular day, if we don't have even where you have people calling in being irresponsible, clearly a group of people could sit around a table and have a conversation about what can happen and how it's happening and some analysis without so-called debating. In fact, we could have a balanced debate where you have one from each party or whatever position, pro or con.
No, don't say debates. That does not happen. We don't do debates. And then also what we have to recognize, sometimes we don't want to raise the level of conversation because it suits our purposes to have conversation at a certain level. To my mind, it goes back to what I was saying yesterday. Certain things are said in the public. The public says it, but they say it from an uneducated standpoint, right? They They don't understand the nuances of how things work. But you will have candidates, you will have people in government or whomever, opposition, you'll have people who will run with that, knowing full well that that's not how it works.
Yes.
They don't come and say, I understand what you're saying, but that's really not how it works.
Yes.
So we're not trying to raise the level of conversation, because if we keep that conversation at a certain level, it's about control, conditioning, and so that works to their benefit.
Yeah.
But yet, let's use an example. We've had governments after government talk about this rent to own. 2 years into this administration, you can't. They're promising it again. The question is, it doesn't take 2 years to create a rent to own program. The problem is that government want to do these things. Government wants to be the one, even though not even do it. They want to say they give you the contract to build it, and then they cut the ribbon, which is basically saying, I'm celebrating a mortgage you're giving this person. But if you have policies and legislation, people like me, who, if we can influence it, we can go and build these things. And there's concepts now in fintech and other different things that allows you to have rent-to-own program. I would love if there were some regulations that allow me to exist. We talk about the DARE bill. It doesn't enable persons like me, and you would never get as much as I try to get around the table. But we can build these things. Government is not the one going to finance these boats. Government is not the one going to finance these homes. Government is not the one to do any of these things. And so even for the repairs, you have fintech that allows, the same way you have these international agencies, you have a bunch of NGOs that says, well, if I could just get some money from government, I could do these different things, when billions of dollars is available around the world. And digitization allows them to reach out of the country. And so there's so much that can come to us for self-governance. And this is why every time I get excited when you talk about local governance, because local governance allows you to localize even the education process, the involvement of the individuals, and they get to see in real time the impact that the things you do have on their life and the power that relies in that person.
Yeah.
And so as we spoke a while back, a lot of people don't understand. Just go and look at all of the presidents in the United States. I think about 90% of them does not come from the Senate or the House of Representatives. They come from governors who run, which is called small countries, which is states. And so, it's a rarity, like Barack Obama and other people, to have them come. Because if they understand the power of local government, the power for self-taxation. Let's use an example. I moved into Western Florida in 1993. We became a municipality in 1996. If we wanted to build a school in Western right now, or as I live in Bohemia, and that's a zone development, we can build a school. The school costs $10 million. Let's, for the sake of argument, we have 5,000 homes. We simply divide that by the homes, right, in a bond, and then we go and build the school, and we put a rule that simply says that you must live in this place, owner or renter, for your child to go to the school.
Right.
And that's nothing to do with government. It is funded, it's paid for by local self-taxation as a form. And so when we go to government and say government is taxing us and we could have better management of our money, we could decide the fire station, the city of West End and Boodle Bay, wherever the range should have, each could all get together, because the insurance company will participate in this, that the one thing that fails the insurance company is a fire, or even for the health, is an ambulance response. If the people around there says we each tax ourselves for $1,000, and there's 1,000 homes, they now have $1 million to put the ambulance there. And the ambulance would stay there and be maintained by them for response to their needs. Then this is all part of a local government structure.
Yeah. So before the break, I was asking, so what is it that's not connecting? We were talking about it off air, that is it the accountability that you shift it, that it'll be on you, me, and all of us to run these towns and cities? Is that what the problem is? Whereas it's easier to blame that MP for not doing something?
Right.
And I think that's a part of it. That's a part of it. If somebody else is in charge, if somebody else is doing it, then you could say they. We always say they. Who's the they?
Deflect.
And so we have to now, more of us have to see ourselves as participants, that we have the capacity, we have the capability, intellectual capability to be able to create the kinds of communities, island, and by extension, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that we would like to see. And we don't necessarily need a they to be the ones to do it. If we can come together and say, this is what we want, we know how to get it done, and we are willing to work towards that. How are you going to partner with us? That's my big thing. How are you going to partner with us? Because we already know what needs to be
the
done.
laws that will empower us, the we, to do the things we need to do for our community.
That's what I'm saying to you. The MPs, and more so this position of prime ministerhood, doesn't want to give up these godlike powers. That you make a decision for the entire treasury. Because now that you have local governance, you now have to have an equitable distribution of what goes out, like the states do, like almost a federal system. And so you don't dictate nothing that happens in these systems, you only fund it based from the basis. So now you can't come from a political standpoint and says, I built you all a school. You didn't build anything, we did. That's our money.
Yeah.
And so what happens is this positioning that they have. And so it's this devolution of power that they don't want to give up. And I think
you would know about this. It might still be the case now, right? Remember when California was the third wealthiest economy in the Western Hemisphere, right?
Yes.
The state alone, outside of the United States, right? And the state alone.
Of California.
And I always bring up the example of the bailout for General Motors and what happened, how it was the United States government, the government of Canada, and the government of Ontario, the province. Them alone, outside of Canada, were able to come together to help to bail out GM.
Because those people came in and they built institutions as part of those community. See, because what happens is now, if you have, for instance, the community of West Grand Bahama, now they could go and have their own decisions to attract businesses here and say, I say to the business, you come and build and you do these things and these certain amount of taxation and certain forgiveness. But the problem is now central government comes in and say, we'll suck it all out from you and we will give you some change to go in so there's no impact within those community. But believe it or not, local government also hindered, the lack of local government also hinders personal development.
Of course.
Because for instance, I've heard candidates in this town right now who did not know about the airport. You know, the West End Airport, that is 7,000 square feet. They say it's the longest in this region.
Do they know that West End is the capital of Grand Bahama?
I don't know.
Simple as that. If you ask them, they're like, what?
And so what happens is they don't know this community. This is why you see the battle now between the two candidates saying one is localized and one is not, in spite of growing up here. Because, again, you could grow up here in 8 Mile Rock and not know what West End is like, and grow up in West End and not know what 8 Mile Rock is like. And literally speaking, this is why when we hear you guys in New Providence talk about us, you don't understand the separateness, but let the interconnectivity of how we exist. It's a beautiful hybrid system that allows us to coexist. Like we told you, I made this joke all the time. We have the natives, we have driftwood, and we have seaweeds. Okay. And you have the natives, and I'm considered a driftwood. I've been here so long, I've embedded myself into the soil. I can't be moved, but seaweed washes in and washes out. And so, but here's what happens. You have families here where same mother and same father, right? And say there's 5 kids. One of them, the mother had complications and went to New Providence to have the baby. He's considered driftwood.
Really?
Same mother, same father.
Give us a call, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. If you're in Grand Bahama, you can call us toll free. 242-300-5720. We're talking with C. Allen Johnson, Dwight and Laverne here. All right, so we got a lot of text messages coming in. Laverne is saying that Minnis's book is on Kindle for $9.99.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Is that the one with politics or the one before you reach?
I don't know what it is.
I
What's
think
it called?
there's a three.
You're right, three parts. Yeah. So
I'm very interested in the third one.
Wait for the movie.
The third one is what, the future, or?
No, it's probably part 4. It's hoping on.
Can I wait for the movie?
Who's gonna play?
You're gonna sit through the whole 15 minutes?
Oh, dear. We're going to get some very angry messages. Very angry messages. So we're going to take a break soon. When we come back, I want to ask you what you think about why the PLP and the F&M don't seem to want to talk to us today. We'll get to that in a bit. But anyway, on this text here, some people are going to have heartbreak tomorrow. The rate these people are on is like it's a general election. These people acting like this will change the government. The PLP will still be in the government, but I think if Pintard loses this, I think it will break his heart. Okay, but a lot of people have been saying that. This is going to be a referendum on the leaders. It's going to be a referendum on...
This has... Because we are so 3 years out. What happens, though, the win for this is a boost for Brave Davis, but it's also an Achilles heel. He's made a lot of promises. And he's made a $100 million promise for the seawall. He's made a $40 million promise for the police, defense force, housing, fire station, everything. He's made another $10 to $12 million promise for a new school. And so these have to be delivered in 3 years. Or, well, if Pintard stays the part, and he said that he didn't need government to do these things, but he needs someone to advocate for it. And so if he begins his advocacy and continue to do the things that he said that he would do concerning coming into the community, this becomes an impetus for him, for his argument concerning under new leadership, under new vision. And so this becomes almost like, for me, I see it as a political strategy could become a catapult for Grand Bahama, because now you have someone in Grand Bahama that you say is going to produce for West Grand Bahama, which controls, 75% of the population of Grand Bahama. Now you have what has to be done in Freeport. You remember we said what happens? You can't do, no matter what you say, we are intrinsically married to Freeport.
Yeah.
And when I say Freeport, we're talking about the Grand Bahama Port Authority. So unless you resolve that, where is government going to generate the revenue to do these things?
Right. And again, he's saying if we don't do these things in 3 years,
don't
vote him in. I mean, how is that going to...
Very quick, I listened to him very carefully. He says, Kinsey won't be back.
Do you think he's on the stage, like, nodding? Like, that sounds good to me. Like, why would you agree to that? I mean, you know it's going to come back to haunt you.
In essence, if Kinsley Smith wins this and Mr. Ricardo Grant stays his thing, there's a high possibility above 70% that Mr. Ricardo Grant will be elected in 2026. Because I'm saying to you, let's be realistic. We already know we haven't had anything built in Grand Bahama. We have buildings falling apart. We have a hotel that needs patching. We have an airport that has to be built. We have so much different things. Roads that we only patch because of the funeral. The whole infrastructure is corroding. Almost the government building now is abandoned. Oh, by the way, the reason, do you know cabinet can't meet in the government building? The building is shut down for mold and mildew. They'd have to meet at the hotel anyway. So the putting the desk here is just part of the theatrics, because you cannot meet in there. ZNS is no longer in there. ZNS is now in the lobby of the hotel right now, in Manor House. I don't know, as far as the last broadcast on Friday, they were still laying wires. Right.
Okay.
So, and I'm saying to you is that, and you have literally infrastructure, the schools, just imagine that you need say $10 million to do repairs on Grand Bahama, and you do $8 million to repair. So when you come back next year, you still have the old $10 million plus some new repairs, and you only do a percentage of that. So that means you're slowly degrading. And so we have a country that is in crisis. And I'm saying to you is a document was given to us that I was excited about. And I say on Guardian yesterday, I'd pay $1,000 to anyone who can show me something in what is called a blueprint for change that doesn't require technology. It does. Yeah. The question is, though, what are we doing to accelerate ourselves into the 21st century? But guess what it is? Technology itself is a form of gives you what you want for local government, because you can't manage it from a maximum thing. You have to break this down into silos, which then becomes communities.
Let's take this call before we have to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Did Latrey Rami answer the question yesterday about the contract for the airport in Bimini? Going to tender?
Wait a minute. No, he did not.
Right. He need to answer the question. I know he's listening.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will put the challenge out.
Well, I checked. For the sake of you, I did check where on the website. and it was not there. So it may be selective tender or direct contract. So they would have to answer which is which. But either one is what we said that we would end the practice off.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let's take this other call. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend.
Good morning, Dwight and co-host or guest. For me, Grant, this election, and my amateur prediction is that if the FNM wins the seat, it's a good sign for them going into the election, the general election, and then if the PLP wins the seat, it's a good sign for them that they may again repeat. Additionally, if the coalition, which I don't think will win, but I would have loved to win, would hope to get enough seats. Not enough seats, enough votes to kind of like really say something or affect whoever becomes the winner. I think that will be a positive whether they win or just affect the election. I remember Grand Bahama used to be when the PLP was dominant in I think it was the 80s, prior to the 90s. Grand Bahama was really F&M. And so even when it wasn't popular to be F&M. And I was really impressed with how strong they are, but they look like they have fallen now, just go where whoever promised them. I look for that day when the Bahamas would once again not just accept what these persons have promised them and know that they didn't deliver it, or just give them a little job, a 12-month job, 52 weeks. I look for that day when that will happen in this country. As far as local government, I like the idea, but I do see the problem with these high costs, because now you'll have all these additional services that will have to be covered by whatever the cost is. So whatever money you raise would now have to be covered by whatever funds you would have to cover the cost of these various services. And in some cases, it would be, I think, duplication of services, and that's where I'm concerned that instead of being beneficial, it may end up being more costly. So that is my contribution.
Caller, there is no duplication of services because local government will be the one providing the services. Those individuals that go into the House of Assembly will have exclusivity to its legislation or laws, policies, processes, procedures, and programs. They don't execute these. They set these in papers. Local government runs the entire department. In the same way you have government running Ministry of Works, it devolves. Ministry of Works with no answer to government, except for, say, national highways, national airports.
Right, exactly.
Right, you understand? National things for it. But all the local roads and the local approval for building permits and everything, and zoning, where you don't have to sit to the whole city thing where one board is serving all of New Providence or all of Grand Bahama, you will decide what you'll do. Those boards will devolve into a small section of local government itself.
Before you cut me off, I get you. So let me say, but let's look at the example of Grand Bahama, the Port Authority. The government was charging taxes, and the Port Authority said, you ain't supposed to charge these taxes. So there was this duplication where government is alleged to have attached in Freeport these additional taxes where I think it was with Kelly's Homestand or something like that, with some goods coming in or something like that. And so and even though you say that, I if it could work good, but you also said a point, which is these persons, this godlike authority and power, you have to take it from them. They're not going to give it up. They want to be able for the people to continue to come to them, and they can give them something and say, I provide you a job, or I provide you whatever it is.
It's a very simple fix, though, caller. Very simple fix. Don't elect the ones who won't. Right. Don't elect the ones who won't want to give it up. Very simple.
And so, listen, if we as Bahamian, I ain't sure if we reached that yet. But if we get,
you all don't want the country to get better. That's all. You don't. You like it like this. You like the potholes everywhere. You like it taking 10 years to get anything done. You don't want it to get better. Just admit it.
Well, let's laugh on that. So think about what Lincoln Bill was on your show yesterday, and he argued. He said, man, after he came in, which is true. I saw the videos. After he came, the lights, the roads, certain things was getting done. Let's see what happens with West End. Let's see what happens. Sorry, it's the constituency called West End of Bimini. Let's see what happens Let's see if they vote for either the PLP or the FNM while they had to go driving through darkness. Let me see what they can do. Let's see if they will rise to this occasion and we are now seeing a change. Thanks so much, man.
Okay, caller. Thank you very much.
But just let me just say this concerning the Let There Be Light thing, Genesis 3. It didn't happen. The government of the Bahamas has nothing to do with Grand Bahama with installing lights or maintaining it. We pay for that as a people, as a collective. Government has nothing to do with the water. I hear, but government is disconnecting lights and disconnecting water and connecting lights and everything. I could assure you that within 2 days of Lincoln Bain getting here, no one saw a truck on any of these streets putting up these miles of lights. Okay? It didn't happen. It's an insult to Grand Bahamians and advocates on this island to believe that you did it. See, the problem is they're saying these things, and nobody's going to take the time to get and tell you the light was already on, because somebody said to him, we didn't have these lights until you reach. He didn't even notice that it didn't. And so we've been fighting for lights. I know about putting cat eyes in the road here in West Grand Bahama and in East Grand Bahama. There's individuals I know who've been bidding now to put in solar lights and everything. So don't insult advocates like myself and the dozens of us on this island that understands how things functions.
Okay. All right, we got to take a break. I think we have some other calls. Please hold on for us if you can, or call us back. This is Morning Blend. We're live in 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. Stay with us.
All right. Yes, I.
Getting up to bag those Black Friday deals? Use your Scotia credit card and use it to enjoy those amazing deals in-store or online. You could be one of 5 lucky winners from a jackpot of $1,000 with any purchase of $120 or more from November 23rd to the 28th. Don't have a Scotia credit card yet? Apply today for a Scotiabank credit card online at bs.scotiabank.com or visit any Scotiabank branch. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. Learn more at bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
Hi, my AC just went out and I need someone to come fix it.
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Okay, what about tomorrow?
We're only open on Thursday. And we're fully booked.
Have anything next week?
No.
Okay, when can you send someone out?
The 22nd is open.
I'll take it.
Of December 2023.
With the best medical cover for your dollar, we're like an AC technician who isn't too busy for you. CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Good like that.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us, so call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. With the new JetBlue CIBC First Caribbean credit card, you're cleared for takeoff to a world of incredible benefits and perks. Use your card and earn up to 2 times True Blue points on everyday purchases. Get your first check back free and travel to your next vacation faster. Apply for the JetBlue CIBC First Caribbean credit card today at cibcfcib.com/JetBlue.
Flying into Grand Bahama and need a reliable rental vehicle? Whether it's an economy, mid-size, full-size, SUV, truck, or 7-passenger van. Call 351-5737 for KSR Rent-A-Car. KSR Rent-A-Car's friendly staff offers the best in customer service with well-maintained, reliable vehicles since 1994. Drive happy while you're in Grand Bahama in a KSR Rent-A-Car. Call 351-5737 for unlimited mileage, and all vehicles are air-conditioned and automatic with free pickup and drop-off. Restrictions apply. Be comfortable, safe, and reliable in a KSR Rent-A-Car.
What the?
Ooh, sorry,
It's
babe.
4 a.m. What you doing?
The CBS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale, Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas, Southwest Plaza location only.
Win a vacation for two to Sandals Resort in Jamaica using your RBC Visa credit card in the RBC Gift Yourself the Ultimate Getaway promotion. Just spend $1,500 or local equivalent. Promotion ends on December 18, 2023. Visit rbcultimategetaway.com for more details.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Come on. You're hard now, watch it. Oi! Listen here. Bimini Island, here I come. Here I come. Say what? Here I come. We going Bimini Island, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. They got a lot of pretty women. Going North Bimini, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. We going North Bimini. North Bimini, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. They got a lot of pretty women and I'm gonna get me one. Bring it on. Come on, do it now. Watch them horns. Watch it.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
And welcome back. This is Morning Blend, a special edition of Morning Blend Business. Day 2 of us being live in 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama, site of, well, this is part of the constituency, West Grand Bahama and Bimini, going to by-election tomorrow. 5 candidates seeking to be the representative in the House for this constituency. Our special broadcast, 2 days now, brought to you by some incredible sponsors: Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort in West End, and KSR Rent-A-Car, in addition to our regular sponsors. And once again, Dwight Strong along with Laverne Gardner, Grand Bahama Zone. And we're talking with C. Allen Johnson. He's in studio. He's live with us outside the Obadiah H. Wilshcombe complex, not the studio.
No, we're not in studio, Dwight. We are
much more refreshing outside and having a good time. All right, so we've been talking all morning. But yeah, so we've had 3 of the 5 candidates. We were hoping to have the final 2 today. Not looking good at all. Doesn't look good at all. The F&M pretty much told us yesterday, C. Allen, Bishop Ricardo Grant is busy. He's campaigning the last leg. He's got to deal with that. He's not going to be able to talk to us. Like, okay. And then the PLP said that Kingsley Smith would be. Well, at least somebody said it, but here we are.
Send us Leslie. Send us the vodka.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen. But we'll see. We still have an hour here. What do you think what should we take away from that? What does that mean? They don't care about the media. They don't care about us.
This concept of national debate that we really need to have in legislation an authority that cannot be interfered with or influenced by government, that actually set rules for a national debate, local debates, everything else, so that the people will see that they would have the opportunity, time, set, place, and everything. We can actually do this now for in case another by-election or a general election comes up. It doesn't take long to institute these different things. We have to move into the next level of intellectual discord for governance. And we're just not there. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over and having a different result. Both of them are saying they're going to do many of the same things. The question now is the how.
Right.
Oh, yes. No, we
Because
can
that's
argue.
what we're going to ask them. You think that's
Right.
why maybe they want to talk because they won't be able to say how?
There's a high possibility because again, also it takes more than an hour to flesh a dozen things that you say you will do. And so, but one of the questions that hasn't been asked is, how do you build people? Because again, everything that has been said, at least from the government part, has been what government will do. But the question I would have for Kingsley Smith is what you will do. You understand? Not what government will do. What would you do, even if you remove the $150,000 and whatever else? What would you do as a community leader to bring about people, to inspire individuals to come together and grow?
Callers, I know we have you on hold, but I just wanted to say, it's very interesting. These are legislators or aspiring to be legislators, right? But we don't ever talk to them about issues that they may need to vote on other than infrastructure stuff, like controversial issues like abortion, how you feel about rape, all those things. Why aren't we hearing these candidates talk like that unless we ask them?
Because remember you said about local government. This is a good point about local government marginal rate.
Their answer may impact how you vote for them.
But also how you impact vote them, they'll be committed to what they say. They don't want to be on the record because then now you'll be able to hold them accountable. See, because what happens is a good media person will be like, you said that you support a bill for marginal rape.
Right.
But why didn't you vote for it? Why didn't you object and reject this bill that they brought into Parliament? So the mere fact that they don't have a record of their position except a party position.
Disturbing.
So you begin to personalize and make them to begin to accept responsibility. This is where they're not willing to do. What is your position concerning such and such? And so this is where, if you say you want local government, I think what happens is an education process has to happen, and we can take back our government, community by community. And so West End and Grand Bahama could use this as an opportunity to take the winner and begin to have him speak in their voice rather than the party's voice.
Yeah, wow. The wind is picking up out here in 8 Mile Rock. Producer, I don't know if the mics are being impacted. Folks, you can call us 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and toll free. Calls from Grand Bahama, 242-300-5720. See, Alan, you're one of the few people who uses our toll-free line. What do you think that's all about? The people that's still calling us.
I like free.
When that rings, I know it's you. Isn't that crazy? It's one other person. Anyway, caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hope
Morning,
you're still there.
Dwight.
Hi.
Morning to your guests.
Good morning.
Almost forget. I've been holding so long.
Okay, sorry. So sorry.
As far as the candidates, right? As far as they're not probably wanting to be entertained by your show. I don't know why, but I kind of somehow don't blame them, because it's us who have to expect more from them, look up to them for more. And we as Bahamian, when we're going to get out of this party politics, if I were in the community of West Grand Bahama and Bimini, right? And if this was my time and place to mark an X, I will consider the choice. The choice for me would be so clear that I will use that individual. I would first look at the person who is in the community, how much they contribute, and that could be the late Representative Obi, and the person who's running now, Ricardo Grant. I will compare what he has done, what this gentleman is doing, and whoever I could see that is contributing in some way or the other. That's the person who I will entrust my vote to, because I know that if that person is a community person, or if Obi was someone who has done something or could have done something, and the party who's in now will continue to do it. You following where I'm coming from, Dwight?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's look at the bishop, for example, right? Because you know me, I'm a community person, right? And if that in you, where you helping people, giving to people, and caring for people, and want things done within your settlement or your island, then of course I will give you 5 years. I will give you that to prove what what you're capable of doing. Just give you a chance. And that ain't the hurt. Forget politics, man. Party, look at the individual and make your decision based on that.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but if you do that, then you automatically give one candidate an advantage. Because as the bishop, he's been here for 30 years. 2 churches in this community, one in Bimini, and the church has always been building.
There's a church in Bimini as well?
Yes. Though no one can argue that the church has kept this community going, from the social safety net to the spiritual support system. And in fact, as a community, we are very religious. As you could see a church almost every few blocks here in this town, and this is not even contaminated.
What was that, Laura?
And a liquor store.
Yeah, we don't have as much as do we go to Freeport for the liquor? Yeah,
those are the priorities. Those are the things that matter. The things that matter. We've got some work calls. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning, C. Allen.
Good morning, sir. And Laverne.
Yeah, listen. What I don't understand with the Bahamian electorate, right, is the guys standing right there campaigning in 8 Mile Rock, West End, and Bimini, and presenting them with a gift for Christmas that is fixing the roads. And I thought road works and stuff like that is supposed to be ongoing throughout the term, because we pay gas taxes for that. That is what we pay, gas tax, licensing.
Yeah, they sent a couple of dollars to local government to patch the roads, but we've been waiting for decades for them to pave it.
Are you tired of it? I mean, this right? When are you going to say, look, we're tired of the crumbs. We don't want to be treated like this anymore.
We are adult. We are 50 years old. We could do this. And I mean, it seems like if you listen to all of the callers and all of the arguments we make, it's like we argue for local government, and then when we say it's time to make a decision for local government, we say it doesn't work. Well, the very things you argue for is what is called local governance. And that's where the problem is. The problem is it's an education process, and I think we have to kind of like put this into micro things. And because for those, and what amazing is that you have local government in a, almost like a format, and you have where you say an expression is that you're already practicing it, but you don't have the full authority that a real local government is be. So it's just an evolution, a modification of the current local government laws to allow for self-taxation. If we can self-tax, the problem is that if I was to go right now in my community and raise $10 million to self-taxation, the law mandates that it goes to the central depository, into the black hole. Whereas we want to be able to say, we don't collect the VAT, but now we want to tax ourselves beyond the VAT, beyond everything else, for our own personal development. And we want that money to remain here. We want to dictate how it is. So when we go to build a school, you send us the $8 million, and we'll put another $10 million with it and build a better school. And you have a contract for the so-called equitable distribution across the archipelago. We know we have to support certain communities, but now when you can go as a economic council and get people and solicit, like working with the chamber, and begin to argue for businesses to enter into your community, because you can enter into private agreements and do whatever for their self-development. The problem is that we have this hybrid of socialization by the MPs and socializing the current form of local government, where you have the mini contracts of the major contracts.
Okay, let's take these calls really quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
All right. Good morning to Laverne, and good morning to my good friend C. Allen. This is Kirk Farquharson. What's going on, C. Allen? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time since BTC, man. We got to do another march.
We got to work it. We got to work it. You know they got me busy, but anyhow.
Farquharson, just hold on. I just want people to know that Farquharson was one of the first people and myself that initiated the stand against BTC before the crowd reached. There was only 3 of us in the room. Go ahead.
Thanks for that. Yeah, we just got to keep on the fight. What prompted me to call is when you guys are talking about the local government, initially when Dwight asked about why won't they move the local government, and that's what prompted me to call. And you guys are right, and I'm just reiterating what was said. They don't want to give up power. You know, if you were interested in the development of this country, if you were interested in making it better for people, the number one thing for any government is to fully engage local government. Local government is putting power in the hands of the people, and that's what they don't want. But it also gives people to govern themselves. And I could assure you, within 3 to 5 years, if they fully endorse local government, the country would improve within 3 to 5 years almost exponentially. And that is a big difference. I've always been against party politics, because party politics is one what got us in trouble now today. And I can assure you, the future success of this country, what I've been saying for years, the future success of this country is in our family islands, the development of our family islands. And the only way we can guarantee that within a short time, with a tremendous and a big impact, is through a full endorsement of local government and its development.
Yeah.
We agree with you. We agree on that. Because again, like we said for local government, somebody comes in, we can take a look at what is their impact on the resources. And anything above what government expects doesn't go to central government, it protects that community. So I could get a Bahama to come to West Grand Bahama, and we look at the impact of what they're going to extract or the impact from the economy. Okay, going to be tax that, you take that out. And everything above this, we cut an agreement with them for, stays with us.
Yeah, that's correct.
Can you imagine if Abaco were to counter propose something like no, how about you consider us instead, and the two of them duke it out or acklet, and
or we may come to a compromise. And so again, but what happens though is that when somebody goes and we have this fight, now that Grand Bahama win or Abaco win, you now have other people, like this is what happened with Google when they were looking for their new city. They had a competition with the major cities, and they chose their cities. And do you know the other cities who didn't win grew just as much or even exponentially more, because people became aware of the potential that they could exist in this environment. So there's no negative downside to it. And I for me, I personally believe that Freeport itself, if you really want to see how local government is, the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement already gives you the format with very little structural adjustments, and let us self-govern ourselves in Freeport. And trust me, we will not develop Freeport without East and West. So essentially, by giving local government to Freeport, you will have an exponential growth on this entire island without interference from it. See, and I hear people with argument against the Port Authority. I understand that 99.99% of them have never read the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement and understand its impact or what it works or anything. They're spreading rumors about it. And so if we actually have a discussion, not just saying, the Port Authority, how does it impact us? How can we expand and use it for our benefit? Because essentially, they just hold some equity. But the equity means nothing unless we develop it.
Yeah. Sarah Kirkby is going to be talking about Grand Bahama News in a bit, but she's nodding and listening to this conversation. You want to add something, Sarah?
It's just nice to see C. Allen in person. I only see him on the radio, and I actually see him. I live in the same town. It's great. I'm very much a proponent of the Port Authority. I do believe in the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement. I have not read it. I have read abridged versions of it and had, shorter parts of it, but I understand how it works. I just think it needs to be coming together as a proper work between the Port Authority and the government. They need to work together better to make our island thrive. And I've had so many investors and people come here over the years and ask us questions about why we aren't where we should be now. And I mean, when we had the heyday of the movies being filmed here, and then when we had the days of Borco, and we've had some seasons, and we need to get back there, but it has to be a working progress together and not against each other. People will ask, I don't want to shock or upset anybody, but Atlantis was supposed to have originally come here, and it went to Nassau.
So is Disney.
So there's lots of different things that have happened, and that's just one of them. But I'm sure there's companies that have gone to Nassau that have come to Grand Bahama. These are things that happen in part of the growth of a country, but we must work as a country together. And Grand Bahama, I feel everybody is working for our rebirth. I did not really take into consideration how large the shipyard facility is going to be for us and what it will bring. But in order for that to happen, we do need our airport. So, these are things that have to triangulate to happen. But I do believe in the Port Authority. I believe in the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, and I think if people understood it better and see how it benefits us, they would embrace it more and not see it as a negative thing. You know, it's like a quasi-government.
See, because what happens is that every decision made for Grand Bahama now is made in New Providence without our context, without our needs, without anything of that sort. And so if we could have somebody land here and simply say, you owe 4% to New Providence, and now let's talk about what do we get?
Well, we pay a lot of taxes to New Providence. The problem is, our roads are like our roads. Okay, we have beautiful roads compared to Nassau. Yes. We're very blessed on that, and we do realize that, and we might talk about it a lot. But
as you should, why not?
We should, right? We're very proud of it.
At this point, that's really all we have.
We're very proud of it.
Road and lights.
But yeah, we have lights and lovely circles, and we know how to work the circles.
And we have circles. I disagree with no one how to work the circles, but we have lots of roundabouts, roads, lights, and roundabouts.
We do.
Oh, and internet, hi-fi.
And hi-fi, and we have. But the thing is that we pay taxes for that when we license our car, when we get our cars inspected. Yes. But that money doesn't stay here. All that money goes back to Nassau. So there is I don't think it's quite fair on what happens, what goes there, because the Port Authority takes care of our roads. When we got cleaned up after the hurricane, you have to give full props to the Port Authority for that, particularly sanitation services. We have the most incredible service with sanitation. They are, and these are benefits that we have here.
We pay for.
So we pay
garbage collection.
Yeah, we pay for those.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I believe they have reliable garbage collection, but I also...
Well, especially if you pay for it, which some of us are forced to do, and then it is extremely, but paying makes a difference.
But as I'm saying, we have a small form of taxation that the Port Authority gets, but what I'm saying is significantly, if we can expand that, because, the problem is that you have government, I'll make sure Sarah gets the Royal Commission report, but if you have government that takes even the duties and responsibilities and strips the Port Authority off it. And so if you want to strip them off it, then let's give it to a collective, not where you make the decision exclusively. Because again, the Hawksbill Creek Agreement already envisioned us involving into a local type of municipality. So you have the licensees, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, but the problem is that government misrepresents its position in the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. The Hawksbill Creek Agreement is not with government. Government is the trustee of the people, just that the people is not involved. And so government make it seem as though they make the decision without consulting. And they said governance without a consult of the governed is slavery. And so they're treating us like slaves. And so if the government would actually come, and this is what surprised me, the cabinet is meeting here, and they've sit here, and for 2 years they have yet to meet with the people of the community, they've yet to meet with the Port Authority, they've yet to meet with the business people of this island. But they're here saying they're going to do all of the things. Guess where they're going to get the money to supposed to do these things? From the people, from the businesses affected governed by the Port Authority, and the other industries. So the problem is that we have no say in our governance, even though we are the second largest contributor to the
he's right on that. And we have formed a Freeport Licensees Association, which was formed out of the frustration of hearing Grand Bahama being talked about in such a bad way, and the Port Authority. We don't love everything the Port Authority does. That would be like loving everything your government does. No one's saying that, but we do want to play our part. And part of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement does allow us, as licensees, to have a say in this, and we want to make sure that people understand that. You can't change the Hawksbill Creek Agreement without, I think it's 80% of the licensees. And so we do have that right. So we should be consulted. We have met with the Port Authority. It was not a full meeting, but we did have that. We've started our public meetings, but we have not met with the government. We have requested that several times.
The beauty is, though, we have almost 5,000 licensees, and 80 to 90% of them are now Bahamian. Now, see, you have to understand with Freeport, at one time, 10% were Bahamians owned. Now we are the majority owners of all the licenses on this island. And so there has been a change, but now it doesn't include us. So this argument about foreigners or some entity, and it amazes me when they talk about foreigners owning the Port Authority, and I'm looking at these guys and says, but these guys are Bahamian citizens. And I'm saying, what's the
right? I mean, Rupert Hayward always talks about it. He was born in Nassau, raised over here. Sarah St. George has spent her entire life here. And everybody who works there, they're all Bahamian. And most of the companies you'll find on the island, we have a very minor part of of
That's
work
right.
permits and
Almost
foreign.
this is why when we have
Bahamian
people
Brewery,
come here-
perfect example. One. Everyone else there's Bahamian. They have one brewmaster who has been there for years, and I think it's just because Jimmy loves him so much that he stays because he makes such great beer. But I mean, it's
You
that's
can't go
at
to any
one. That's
company
not a
and see
huge
foreigners.
amount of so that it changed from that bend and break it speech that from Penling did years ago.
Yeah.
We have had that change.
We bend, but it seemed like government broke us.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right, let's see. I think we still have some callers. Yes?
Hello.
Anybody there?
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, I've been holding along to good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Miss Laverne and Miss Sarah, and to C. Allen. Good morning. I wanted to find out from C. Allen because he talked a little fast and maybe you could get it in. 3 quick questions. I wanted to know how affected is Mr. former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Hubert Ingram over there in the campaign, listening to Fred Mitchell. I call it being disrespectful, talking about the walking dead man walking, stuff like that. I wonder how effective if the people believe in Mr. Ingram, or do you think they're listening? I wanted to know, like, the Bahamian of Haitian descent, which way they normally go in that constituency, or what are they saying now? The caller talk about maybe it's best to work with people who have already proven themselves in the community. You talk about the bishop with the church in Bimini and one in Freeport. To me, as an outsider listening, although I born in Grand Bahama and wish I had the opportunity to vote over there, right? I listened to all of the candidates so far on different radio stations being interviewed. And when you talk about networking and community and proving themselves, it sounds like this young fellow, I can't pronounce, I can't remember his first name, independent candidate,
Swain.
He sound like if I would have been forced to give him a chance as a PLP supporter in the past, and considering I wouldn't stay home and don't vote. He proved himself in the community. Now I want to see Allen telling me, but Ingram telling me about Asian women, but the Swain fella, see Allen, tell me why, because you in the area. If I was there and I had to ask you what you think, because you know more than me, why you would encourage me not to vote for Swain? Because my opinion right now, listening as an outsider, Grand Bahamian, Swain sound like the best candidate to go with. Because whosoever you vote for, PLP still could be a government for 3 years. I hang up and listen. Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
A lot of questions there. Thanks, Papa.
Ingram has definitely galvanized the F&M base, who would have maybe decided this was not important enough for them to come out.
You think so?
Yes, I think so. Papa holds a tremendous. There's some people who might have said, like, they don't feel like going out. They're now looking for their voters' cards. Okay, and this is why you saw the PLP after his first speech in Bimini. You had even more people that was brought here on the ground, and they start walking around even in the middle of the night with flashlights. So he does have that impact. And so after he came out, you saw people like Pinder and other different people came into the fray. But on the Corn Swan, I've been an advocate. I've stood with him concerning the power company and other different things. I think Taquan has tremendous potential for our government. If there was local government, he would be a shoo-in. Yeah. Okay, he would be a shoo-in.
But good for him for running. He's a nice young gentleman. I think it's the second time he's run, right? He ran, right? Yeah. And I think it's fantastic. I love that there's 5 candidates. I mean, I love that Shadaz put her name in there. I think that's what we're showing, that we do have, I'm searching for the right word, but that everybody's trying. I think it's fantastic. Right. I'm still amazed when I turned the corner. I felt like I came into 8 Mile Rock, and it's like, boom! I hit election. I mean,
all the signs are up everywhere.
I don't come down here often unless I'm going west to get my gully wash and my good conch salad. Right.
That's what we haven't got yet, Wally. We got to get some. Get some of that.
By the way, in West End, he's the best. And but it hits you. And
it's
like
quite a lot.
Elections happening.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you can feel it in Grand Bahama, definitely.
But as far as you say, Haitian of Bahamian descent in West Grand Bahama, you have a well-blended family. You cannot differentiate one from the others. Generally speaking, we know when a foreigner steps in here. And, it's assimilated. You have TCI. Because what people have to understand is that there's a high content of TCI because they came in when Pine Ridge was doing the lumbering. And they literally built Freeport and Grand Bahama. And so when people, it's very insulting to those people because, let me tell you something. When this election is finished, They can have lunch. Kimsey family, because they cousins 3 times on each side. Okay. So,
it's a small country, eh? Yeah.
No, this is a small country.
Patty was trying to explain to y'all about nepotism. That's why he doesn't focus on it, because it's a small country,
can't avoid it.
and invariably people are related and connected.
If you put the law, what he said is that you have to put the law down that says no daughter, no first cousin. You have to list like that, but you have to say from second cousin removed and other things. You have to forgive.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. All right. This texture says. The POP nor the FNM will have their candidates appear in your show because the parties themselves are not confident in either candidate to articulate the party's position or a sensible position to bill people. Oh boy. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, I think that's
I would disagree. I would think Kingsley is quite eloquent on what he wants to say, and I would say the same with Mr. Grant.
No, but he
They're
said the
both
party's
arguing-
position.
The party,
not
yes,
this.
I would think they know their party's position very clearly. I just think maybe it was a choice they didn't do it, but it's a shame they didn't take the opportunity. But I would think, no, I would disagree with that.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a shame that they didn't show up today. Yeah, I would never miss the radio opportunity and a
Right?
chance to give those points,
Last
and also
punch.
to reach a wider audience. You're not you're going to reach our audience who are tuning in, but it's national. There's
And address some of the little controversies, get that out there, and knock it out of the way, right?
Well, maybe they think that their machinery that they already have in place is sufficient. I don't know if I 100% agree with Sarah about all of them being articulate enough to explain their position, but
You know why?
I'll talk about that off air. But right,
Yeah,
but
I can close it.
I think,
and I'm going to shut the
think that
tablet off,
maybe
and I'm going to take the notes.
right off air. But I
No, I
think
mean, not for you, for them. See,
but
when
I
you come to
think, like,
articulate a
maybe
position,
they
don't
feel,
read to me.
If you feel that you are reaching who your intended audience is, and like I said, they have last minute baby kissing, handshaking kind of thing to do.
But this
until
election is not a
tomorrow.
vote on those guys. This is a very political based vote, right?
Yeah.
You're either voting your party or you're voting for you're saying no party.
Right.
Because it's very
Or you're punishing
clearly-
your party.
I mean, 'cause I've never seen so many politicians in this area. I mean, it's fantastic. It's,
In 50 years.
And I'm hoping that every constituent is taking that opportunity, as Ingram probably would have told them, to speak to. If the Prime Minister came to my door to ask for my vote, I would take that time and tell him what I think is wrong with the community and what needs to be done. I hope they're taking that opportunity, because they're speaking to the cabinet. The whole cabinet's been here, right? Including, and then same side with the FNM, all of the party leaders, they're there. You need to be telling them, you did not do this, you need to do this. You must take that opportunity, right?
And that's what I've been saying.
Staggered election.
You have to know what it is that your community needs. And when they come to your door asking for your vote, say, listen, how can you partner with us? Because these are the things that we need. Don't be impressed. Don't be in awe. I'm not saying be disrespectful, but sometimes you get that awe that you don't know. No. This is your opportunity. You've been sitting saying to yourself, if I had the chance, this is what I would say. Well, we have all of these people in this community constantly right now. So this is your opportunity to really let them know what is in your heart concerning you personally, but more so your community and how we can, by extension, build this whole island. So I hope that everybody in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, you're taking that opportunity to voice those things that we tend to talk about in our little groups and wherever we gather. Because this is now, let's sound the alarm.
That's right. This has convinced me that we need staggered election. We don't need a general election.
Yeah.
We need to have, like you say, half in, half out, or quarters, because then now we will get to see everybody who's there to convince.
I mean, to me, it was amazing
Because-
that the PM was on the ground so much. I think that's phenomenal. And I hope he's taking that opportunity to see what needs to happen in West End. The West End was the capital, or
Yeah.
really
It's
is
still
the capital of the island. But I mean, we say, right? But I mean, and it's so much fun to go down there, and the people are lovely, and they want so much, but they need so much down there. We need a proper working hotel, or they need larger businesses. And this is the opportunity. I mean, if you're in the cabinet and you meet people who are coming to you every day to say, I want to come invest in your country, and they say, okay, we're going to go here, we're going to go here, and you say, you know what? How about going here? How about coming to West End? How about going to 8 Mile Rock? How about going to East End? That's what we should be pushing people to do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say, and Nassau has a lot. but push some this way.
Oh, absolutely.
And to me, that's what they should be doing. And
Yeah.
that's where the growth needs to come. And I really do hope every constituent doesn't get overwhelmed and takes that opportunity to say,
Yeah.
I am so glad you're here. You want my vote? This is what I need you to do.
This is better to hear this in the candidates any day, right? This is
Weston,
great
just come
advice,
back. I
folks.
just want you to know, I grew up in Weston All-Age School. I grew up in a place right there called Crazy Corner. When you reach there, today now they understand why they call it Crazy Corner. We were so intellectual they didn't understand.
Oh.
But West End is coming back with or without government, because West End is only a small community for about 4 miles long and about a quarter mile to a third of a mile at its widest width, not counting where Guinness now taking control of. And so West End also is 100% fiber right now by BTC, now by Cable Bahamas. West End also sits now on a marine protected area, or that hasn't been gazetted yet. But it's with the seagrass you talk about and the seaweed and the salt marshes and everything, that's all parts of West Grand Bahama District right here, and as well as Bimini. And so we are part of this so-called green economy, blue economy, aquamarine economy, and everything else. We also, believe it or not, West End also have the land mass that could solarize and take West Grand Bahama off the grid. And so the question is that we're not having this type of conversation. One of the things I know, if Mr. Ricardo Grant win, he made mention of Economic Development Council. I'm going to hold him on that, because that there can itself become a form of local government to solicit, grow, and develop businesses. The government in their blueprint for change promises something similar too. But again, how many of us has read that document to understand the promises made and the promises not kept?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so and these are the conversations we have to have. And so I like that you have now competing things that's so similar, and if people become involved, it can greatly cause us to bring it into alignment. And so now, again, if we understand that everything they said can happen, I'm a digital advocate. I am a technocrat,
You are?
Yes.
Shocker!
Are we shocked?
You know something, C. Allen, and all the time I've known you, I never would have guessed. Never.
So I believe in digitalization. I want us to be the first, because what happens is that, like I said, for 7 years, I studied, first I came in and I made a lot of noise. And then after 10 years, I realized maybe I should seek first to understand. Now I'm going to seek to be understood.
Yeah.
And so the best thing to do is create an environment for them to be able to do the things they do without local government. That's why I'm saying I'm with you without local government. Like I said to you, I was there in Western Florida in 1993. We became a municipality in 1996. My twin brother was in the city of Carroll City that they advocate for, and became the city of Miami Gardens. So we are very familiar in the transition.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will talk about Grand Bahama news and your final thoughts as the countdown is on to the by-election for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. This is Morning Blend Business, coming to you live from 8 Mile Rock in Grand Bahama. This special broadcast brought to you by Western Air, Old Bahama Bay Resort in West End, and KSR Rent-A-Car. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay with us.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Join the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, SBDC Bahamas, and Alive Business on Saturday, November 4th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Crypto Isle on East Bay Street. See what's new, sample products, demo services, and shop from a variety of businesses throughout our local communities. We hope to see you at Trade Expo 2023 on November 4th. Admission is free and the event is family friendly. For more information, call the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce at 322-2145.
Gearing up to bag those Black Friday deals? Use your Scotia credit card and use it to enjoy those amazing deals in-store or online. You could be one of 5 lucky winners from a jackpot of $1,000 with any purchase of $120 or more from November 23rd to the 28th. Don't have a Scotia credit card yet? Apply today for a Scotiabank credit card online at bs.scotiabank.com or visit any Scotiabank branch. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. Learn more at bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
Celebrate the holidays in style with Nassau Tiles Holiday Sale from November 22nd to 29th. Save up to 25% off select porcelain tiles, up to 30% off ceramic tiles, and 20% off store-wide on all tiles, thin set, grout, and mosaics. Our dedicated tile experts will guide you in choosing the right tile for your floor, wall, indoor, or outdoor space. Visit the Nassau Tile Showroom today at number 43 Doswell Street or call our tile experts at 322-2100 to make your dream space a reality.
Flying into Grand Bahama and need a reliable rental vehicle? Whether it's an economy, mid-size, full-size, SUV, truck, or 7-passenger van. Call 351-5737 for KSR Rent-A-Car. KSR Rent-A-Car's friendly staff offers the best in customer service with well-maintained, reliable vehicles since 1994. Drive happy while you're in Grand Bahama in a KSR Rent-A-Car. Call 351-5737 for unlimited mileage. All vehicles are air-conditioned and automatic with free pickup and drop-off. Restrictions apply. Be comfortable, safe, and reliable in a KSR Rent-A-Car.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASU savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
What the?
Ooh, sorry,
It's
babe.
4 a.m. What you doing?
The CVS Bahamas Black Friday sale coming up November 24th and doors open 5 a.m. I doing a dry run because I won't be the first in line. They gonna have over 50 items on sale.
Now, you know I used to run track. Let me do a couple stretches. We gonna have to do a relay to cover that whole store.
Don't miss the Black Friday sale. Friday, November 24th at CBS Bahamas, Southwest Plaza location only.
Looking for the ultimate getaway with luxurious rooms for tranquility and relaxation with friendly customer service plus high-speed internet? Look no further. Old Bahama Bay Accommodations in West End, Grand Bahama offers adjoining ocean view rooms perfect for families with modern West Indian colonial furnishings or elegant suites exquisitely designed for the most discriminating guest. At Old Bahama Bay, you can enjoy the amazing beach, water sports, the pool, and so much more. Or cycle around the historical village of West End. For more information, click on oldbahamabayresorts.com or call 242-602-5170 or 242-602-5171. For the ultimate getaway, just a short flight or boat ride away. Old Bahama Bay, Bayshore Road, West End, Grand Bahama.
There's a new electric vehicle in town. The Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans. Available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It's the season of travel, and we're ready to take you there. Western Air offers daily jet flights between Nassau and some of your favorite island destinations, like Bimini, Andros, Exuma, Cat Island, Abaco, and Grand Bahama. Or if you need to hop stateside, find out what all the hype is about and try Western Air's daily jet flight services to Fort Lauderdale. Remember, all tickets are open, no change fees, no cancellation fees, and the first check bag is free. Visit www.westernairbahama.com. Western Air will take you there.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you are.
Hello, Ma. I'd like to hear a new beat on the request line.
Okay, you get it. When I was a rising star, West End was the place to go. Some never thought I would get this far. Thank the Lord, I still got my show. Junior Wish could play that guitar. That boy could sing till he made
Welcome back to Morning Blend. Morning Blend Business. We are in Grand Bahama, 8 Mile Rock at the Obadiah H. Wilshcombe Complex in 8 Mile Rock. Our final 10 minutes here on our little Grand Bahama trip for now. As Laverne says, we need to do it a little more often. We're going to work on that. Sarah, going to help us with that?
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay. See, Alan, you've got a lot of contacts. Help us, yeah. Yeah, okay, all right.
Might even find you more parking space, too.
Got a lot of inside jokes this morning. Did you hear yesterday they had to ask New Providence if we could be here?
Oh, really? Oh,
New Providence. Yeah.
Come on, stop saying it.
No, we just want to be outside. Yeah, but we couldn't be in the parking lot. But not New Providence. It's
a lovely breeze and it's nice and cool.
Today is nice.
Today.
It's nice. It's very nice. All right, so Sarah Kirkby is with us, along with C. Alan Johnson, Dwight and Laverne with you. All right, so Grand Bahama News.
Yes.
Every Tuesday, the Nassau Guardian.
Every Tuesday. A lot of people still don't know, which gets a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
But we're doing pretty well. We get 4 stories a week. We try to give everybody a little summary of what's happening in Grand Bahama. We're hoping to go to 2 days. So if, those advertisers out there are listening, I'm going to very boldly just solicit, please advertise to keep our local paper going. We need that. And it's great. It's nice to have a paper back.
Yeah.
And, we do have enough news to keep things covered. We have a lot of things going on this week. Today's issue is out. You're going to hear about our nicer stories are about the prince and princess who were, coral reef diving here in Grand Bahama, putting us on the map, making Grand Bahama look amazing with our environmental concerns. And that's I thought was a really great story. We obviously did a story on the election, what the young people are saying, so you can read that, who they think they're voting for or who they are looking for. Carnival was here last week working for food and beverage. They're looking for people that are going to help. And it's amazing actually how much they say they're going to be open 7 days a week there. They're looking at 200 to 300 employees of their own, and then an additional 100 employees who will work for the restaurant businesses alone. Wow. It's very good. It's going to be huge for us, but we're trying to get it, I think, and they're working on it, but we need as many Bahamians as we can, entrepreneurial, in there, especially in the restaurants. There is a worry on how much you have to put down in order to get a restaurant. I know that's a concern, and also payment. They did talk about vendors having to take a Carnival card and getting your money 2 weeks later. I don't think that's doable for smaller entrepreneurial businesses and not for straw market ladies and things like that. So I think that's something. I had been to another island and asked them if they did the same there, an RCL one, and they said no, that didn't last. So they prefer payment in hand, which makes a lot of sense to me. So Carnival is doing a series of town halls trying to get people to invest, because the building is going up. I actually went and looked at it on Saturday. It has been it's 15 feet high. They were originally doing 12. They've gone to 15 feet, and they went from a $200 million project to a $500 million project. So that's huge. Our lead story is very controversial today. There's a bit of an issue with the Rand. I would encourage everybody to read this. Unfortunately, the trailers that were put there that we were all hoping would kind of bring our capacity up a little bit, and you wouldn't have to wait outside in the parking lot to get into emergency treatment, are not open. And unfortunately, there seems to be a fight between the people that have provided the trailers and the hospital. One is, and there's a legal battle, I think, now. I don't know if it's payment. I don't know if it's standards. Princess Margaret Hospital statement says that it's this. They didn't supply what they were supposed to. The people bringing the trailers have said they did, and they met all the standards. So that's a bit, and and who's it hurting but the people? Because we really do need a better. If you go into our emergency, and please don't let me wrong, the RAND and the staff are lovely people, but they are working in subpar conditions, and it's awful. There's still holes in the floor and things that haven't been prepared, and you're taking people in there in an emergency situation. It's not fair. It needs to be fixed, and that's where I believe a lot of our funding also needs to go. But so it's a big story for us, and we really do want the hospital to get back on track. So, and I would encourage everybody to please buy the paper, support local stores that sell the paper as well, and also contact us for news. We're always looking for stories as well. And I want to thank The Guardian because they've been so supportive by getting us a paper back in our island, which is fantastic. Because, you know, we want to see Grand Bahama rebirth. We, you know, if you live in Grand Bahama, you've been through some ups and downs, and you want to see this place come back up. You know, we survived Dorian, and trust me, that was a bit of a kick.
When you cumulatively take all the hurricanes we've been through, this is the capital of Hurricane Alley.
Yeah. No,
okay, and so we want to build back resilient, not as the person resilient, but we want. But when Sarah's talking about these vendors, this is where tokenization, I use the word digitization, tokenization, fractionalization does, because they can actually get funding if the proper economic or proper business plan development happens, because essentially you have a vendor that's going there that needs $100,000. It's not too hard outside of the Bahamas. And we talk about this crowdfunding. AWAC X was an internal product, but there's nothing that prohibits Bahamians from reaching out and being on other platforms to convince 100 people to put $1,000 to fund their operations. And Carnival could authenticate where they are in their relations to this, and based on the volume of people and their numbers. So the problem is that we are so busy funding more salons, more nails, more cars, more everything, cannibalizing it as part of growing the economy of capacity. But this is what the Hawke's Creek Agreement was. You have to understand, this was a Bush time of 2,500 people that one time may have peaked at 80,000 people. This city was built for a minimum of 250,000 people, and that's before the technology now for vertical building as well as sewer systems and other things exist. Singapore is only 30 square miles larger than Freeport. I didn't say Grand Bahama, I said Freeport. And they have 6 million people. The potential for growth is exponential here in Grand Bahama.
My sister actually just got back from there. The pictures and the infrastructure and the buildings. I'm thinking, oh my God, why aren't we like Singapore and we have that capacity? And that's the thing about Grand Bahama. People forget. I don't know if you're going to take some time, but you know, if you travel through the canal systems and the road systems, we're ready for this expansion. So, you know, bring it on.
Right. And this is why I said to individuals, build on Grand Bahama, enter the retail short-term vacation rental, and use the money you pay for your building and the extra to pay for your location in New Providence. We welcome you. We have to move to capacity because the airport cannot be sustained with the current rooms we have, and adding the 1,270 room that 271 rooms we have at the Grand Locaia. You have to have a volume. So what we need is a master plan. And this is why we need that conversation between the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we need it between the licensees, and we need it between the people. The government needs to sit and listen to the people as to what it is we have, because this is where the ideas and the workers and the things that's execute. We have intimacy with this island as business people, and like you said, the licensees. If you look at almost every company on this thing, with the exception of, could we have emphasis on one or two companies where you say, oh, the shipyard has the so-called workers, whatever, but you don't look at the total workforce proportionately. What is the proportion of foreigners towards it? And then so instead of looking at what the shipyard is doing with 200-300 people, why aren't we having a discussion, how do we add 1,000 of our own capacity?
The potential is so great. All right, we're running out of time. The cabinet is here now. They're all walking in there for this cabinet. I was trying to find the right word to say.
Because they're going to be on
cabinet meeting. That is what is going to take place.
Right. Can I say important, substantial? Do we know? Well, I don't know. Anyway, let's hope. Let's hope.
I'm hopeful. I'm like, let's talk about the airport. Let's do it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Let's do it, guys.
Didn't we have an airport and the road contracts and everything? I'm hoping that some major today,
big announcement
some
today.
major
That's what I'm
announcement
hoping
today.
for.
Okay.
That,
All right.
you know, that,
All right.
anything.
Let's hope so.
So we just want to do is get them to commit on the record because we're going to hold them to it going forward.
Right.
Now we have, I'm going to start calling Sarah to demand interviews, and then I can try to get 2 or 3 sponsors to be in a paper that says, well, we paid you, make sure Seattle's story get there.
Wow. All right, really quickly, Sarah, like what day you're looking at? If you expand any timeline for that, what are you hoping for?
We'd love to add a Friday in. That would be great to help us with promoting events and things that are happening here. So, but we just need a lot of support on the paper. We are getting there, but it's great, and it's fantastic for the Guardian. And I luckily we also go on shows in the afternoon and with Naughty, and we get to promote it as well. But it's great because we get to talk to a national audience about our country. Sorry, our island and how much we love it
What is
here.
that country?
Yes. Sorry.
Freudian
Yeah, we saw from the country of we saw from Grabaco.
Yeah. Let me not get in trouble. They're gonna say it right. Private.
Well,
I'm gonna get it
I'm
today.
advocate for Grabaco.
Oh my. Anyway, thank you all so much. Thank you very much, C. Alan Johnson, Sir Kirkby, and of course, we got a whole bunch of people. I have a long list of people to thank. But of course, Laverne Gardner.
Always a pleasure.
2 days. This is. You might as well come on tomorrow. You gonna come back to NASA? No. Okay. Anyway, we can talk. We can arrange something.
Okay,
we can arrange something.
We'll talk off air.
And so we're going to give Laverne a break. She won't be with us on Thursday, so she can sleep in after 2 days of waking up and driving all the way, because you're pretty far from here.
Yeah.
Driving all the way. Nothing is far, sure. Yeah. West End is far. Trust me, West End is far. That's a long drive.
Are you going down there today?
We're staying down there. Yeah.
It's lovely, right? And it is a beautiful place, but I wish you could go and do the Stingray tour that's out there with Keith. Oh, it's fabulous. And the keys that are all out there. It is a gorgeous place.
We have to come back. We have to come back in.
It's worth it. It's gorgeous. And if you're in Freeport, you kind of take it as a day trip down to West End. It's like you're going to the Out Islands almost, but it's fabulous. And then everyone's so friendly and the food's so great. And the gully wash is the best.
We're going to get that today.
Or as you all call it, sky juice, but it ain't. It's gully wash.
It's gully wash. Don't conform. Don't conform, Sarah. It's gully wash.
No, I won't.
And as Sarah said, Old Bahama Bay Resort, one of our sponsors for this, and we want to thank them. We got a couple names of people to thank there. We got Yvette Weish and Patrick Pia Carey to thank, and everybody Western Air and KSR Rent-A-Car. Thank you all so much. Want to thank our production team. Want to thank Paul Fernanda and Wally Ferguson and Arlington Roll, our producers, and all of our sales team, everybody at Guardian Radio. Thank you all so much. And thank you to the people of Grand Bahama. Thank you so much for the hospitality. We wish you all the very best in West Grand Bahama and Bimini with the election tomorrow and all the candidates. Good luck. And everybody, hey, this is democracy. Democracy in action. And go out and vote if you can in this election. And do what you need to do. Hey, that is it for us. We're going to be back in Nassau tomorrow morning with Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.